the
House, could you put the minigun away, please?
Yeah. Anyway, let me do my intro real quick, guys.
What intro?
Hello, this is Dama.82. I am joined today here with Spud Cubs, Benzo, I am Mark III, Heitzmeister, and Brick. Did I forget anyone, fellas? I'll take that as a no.
I don't think you did, but
today we are going to be doing a roundtable discussion and from the depths about, oddly enough, From the Depths. So everyone say hi, take a second or two to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm not allowed on the round table. And I don't think Nick is either.
And that's why you're not allowed at the round table.
Feels bad, man.
Hi, I don't have an identity. I broke my poster. I'll come back to me.
I think I can fix it.
He mutes himself a lot.
Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Ah!
Just so you know, I am actually streaming this as well.
Oh, you'll get posters as well. What's that shit?
I'm just some random dude who enjoys From the Depths.
That is our resident German, Heitzmeister.
The brute forces are here.
Are we just introducing ourselves, or do we actually give a little background of what kind of things we do on From the Depths?
Well, I think my first question I would like to pose for the group is tell us a little about your start in From the Depths. Who would like to start us off?
Well, I'll go if no one else wants to.
Well,
I'm still
who's been here the longest?
In terms of playtime, or?
Well, I mean,
Dama's got 10,000 hours, I think.
Almost.
Okay, that just about.
In all fairness, those are like mostly AFK hours.
I wonder what I would put on the poster.
Anyway,
I assume asking is not counting.
Yeah, go ahead and start us off. You offered to do it anyway, so.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yes.
Darn it. Okay. I started off in From the Depths quite a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
If you want specifics, don't ask me, because I'm a bit darned if I can remember. But I actually started off with From the Depths actually as a YouTube series.
It looked like it was before APS came out. Am I correct?
It was, yes. It was actually quite a while before APS. We were back in the Simple
So yeah,
Cannons
you've been playing this
stage.
way back before I started.
Wait, what were they called? They weren't Simple Cannons. What were they called back then?
They were
Custom
called
Cannons.
Thank you.
That was it. Custom Cannons, yes. Because I eventually learned how to make a rapid-fire, high-bore, massive cannon, and then I stopped playing for a while because not because of the quality of the cannons.
But because you felt like you beat the game because you built the biggest deck that you possibly could.
I beat the Deepwater Guard. That's the furthest I've ever been.
That's the best accomplishment there.
Yeah, but I built a piece of wood with 6 missile tubes on it, and I was so proud of myself. Basically, yes, a piece of wood. This was before we even had beams in the game.
That sounds about right.
So I might be one of the people who's been with From the Depths the longest, but I've not played it as much as some of the other people here. So.
So you've seen all of the iterations of the various yellow rubber duckies through From the Depths' life.
Rubber duckies?
On the Steam page, there was a duck made out of single wooden blocks in the ancient graphics. It was terrifying.
Oh yeah, I think I have seen that actually. I never downloaded it.
Haunts my dreams to this day.
Okay, so
I like the angry chicken. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
The angry chicken seems to have gotten angry last I saw it.
I'm sorry,
it's not the same though.
Derailed this.
Well, that's my start with From the Depths. So.
Okay, who would like to go next?
I'm staring at Heitzmeister just because it happens to be.
Oh, should I go next?
I
sure,
like your
go for it,
videos,
bud.
by the way. They're beautiful. I don't understand any of it though.
Well,
How about
least you
that,
like
buddy?
them.
You got a
Thank you.
fan here.
I do.
I watched them on the toilet. But please start.
I will not continue to think about this. Okay. Yeah, I started from the depths about 1.5 years ago, I guess. Maybe 2 years ago. Actually, I haven't known from the depths up until this point. Until a nice British guy recommended it to me. And he said to me that this would be this kind of game I would probably enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I did. I have been dangerously, well, I should say addicted to From the Depths ever since.
Yeah, I think my wife's
Wasn't me,
actually
by the
jealous
way.
of it.
Oh yeah, this is starting to look more and more like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. Hi, my name's Spud Cubs. I'm an FTD addict as well.
It's still not. Am I allowed alcohol? Not sure yet.
Am I Mark 3? I admit I've got a problem.
Well,
But
That's the
probably.
first
it's the
step, my
first
friend.
step. Yes.
Heismeister,
Jinx, you owe me a bottle.
are you done with
No.
your introduction, or we want to move on?
Oh no, I wasn't quite finished. Yeah, and
Okay.
I'm sorry.
about, I guess, a year ago, I thought it would be okay if I would do a YouTube series on From the Depths, since I haven't seen that many German YouTubers doing it. From the Depths series. So
What
I
about
thought,
that
might
Captain's
as well
Flag
do it.
guy?
Oh yeah, he did, but that was some time ago, actually.
Oh yeah,
A
yeah,
long
yeah.
time ago. Was still the time where we had different resources like scrap and natural and all this.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it for me.
Okay.
the
Spud Cubs, you
moment.
want to go next?
Oh, sure. Sorry. So my first blip on the radar in FTD was I saw Robaz do his little playthrough, and I was like, oh my god, a real-time strategy game, you build your own units. And so I built a Metal Gear for a tank competition. And it was like 60 times larger than the tank that was supposed to be the largest tank ever built.
That's about right.
So I was a little embarrassed. I was like, okay, it's time to start building to scale. That's why I build tiny units. Hi, I'm Spud Cubs.
All right.
Before we get started, can I just show how outstandingly professional I am for a moment?
Sure.
I've got my live stream up, and I just managed to start the background music. And I've got one person watching. Well,
Yeah.
actually 2 people now. Ooh.
I got Benzo, Brick, and Existence in chat right now. Brick, you want to go ahead and introduce
Also, I think
yourself?
I'm doubling audio. Whoops.
Well, I can, yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
So, my first encounter, like, yeah, it's the correct word for this, was I saw a video on YouTube, of course, with From the Depths, from the actual the adventure mode, yeah.
Mhm.
And I don't know how even I found it, but whatever. I like maybe not disliked the game, but I didn't know what was going on. And yeah, I seen it. I just keep going on. And few years later, I saw Latrix doing a series from the Deeps, and then I got really interested. Really, later on, I've got the FTD on as a present on Steam. Actually, at the time when APS was released. So from this time, I was sticking to this game pretty much all the time. I checked its updates and what's going on. I was like rather a passive person in terms of what's going on with the game, but I was still building something. Or yeah, and yeah, I enjoyed it. So these days, I guess.
Okay. I guess I'll go last then. Y'all know me as Damadoc82. I have been playing From the Depths since probably just right before APS was a thing. I got like I think I said about 10k hours in this. Though, as I keep telling people, most of those are offline. I've beaten the campaign at least twice now, I think. And one of the things that I've always loved about this the FTD community is that everyone just always seems so willing to share ideas, and I wanted to be a part of that, so that's why I started streaming.
I see Spud Cubs plays Roblox.
Do I?
Apparently.
That's not right here.
No, if you, that's not
That
why
came
the
out of
picture
left
changed.
field.
No, are you looking about Spud Cubs above Spud Cubs?
Here, wait a minute. Wait. I've got a solution to this. Hold on. I just need to find an actual image. There we go. There we go. It's
okay,
the home
okay.
part. Let
What
me
did
just
I miss?
change this really quick. I gotta get up on the
Spud
ladder.
Cubs, he's changing
There we
his.
There you go. Pretty accurate there.
Okay.
Apologies for the
Gee.
derailment there.
Anyway,
This is going well.
how about we start off with our questions for the group here? I'm thinking we could go Heismeister and just kind of let go run clockwise.
One question at a time?
One question at a time, yes.
Okay.
Heismeister, do you have a question you'd like to pose to the group, sir?
Yes, I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I could just get my... There it is. Yeah, I have a question for the group. And since we are experiencing a lot of patches and fixes lately, my question would be, what kind of things would you see to be changed in the Planet Designer?
Planet Designer.
In the map editor?
Yes, in the map editor.
Oh god,
What
so much.
Could be
So
improved
much.
or changed.
That thing is horrifying. It needs a whole lot of simplification. I have seen map editors in so many other RTS games where it's a lot more intuitive.
I don't have anything to contribute here because I am the best person ever, and I've never looked at the map editor at all.
I consider you lucky
I
then.
apologize. Oh, is it that bad? I think that's my contribution then. It's like, I'm lucky not to have looked at it.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's a big oof.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's not a good recommendation.
I'm sure it's
though.
something that the devs will get to in time. I mean, I'm sure they got bigger fish to fry at the moment.
I've touched map editors on other games though that they'd never fixed, so that's not a guarantee unless it's actually put on their radar, so to speak. I don't know.
I just remember games like Red Alert where you could throw together a multiplayer map in like 2 minutes if you wanted to.
True, but Red Alert's a tile-based game though.
I'm pretty addicted to that Warcraft 3 map editor. That really gets my goat. You know what I mean? All those model editing and trigger editing, trigger warning.
Raz in my chat agrees, by the way, on the state of the world editor. He says oof fits perfectly, basically.
Okay, Heismeister, I guess we'll move on to Ian for the next question. Ian?
Oh, my first question.
Yeah, unless Heismeister had a point that he wanted to add to it before we moved on.
No, I don't have any point.
Okay, Ian, if you would please.
Okay, well, my first question was, are the high-powered APS weapons hitting too hard? Not the system itself, just the big stuff. As my note for this, by the way, it is I'm asking this because of that planned update which said that the overall APS system strength needed to be reduced. So that's why I noted down that particular question. I don't mean the light stuff. I don't mean the small stuff. I don't mean the entire APS system. I really like the Tetris. It's got really good that, but it's like, are the top end guns too powerful?
I would like to think that everything in from the depths has some kind of hard counter, if given enough thought. But that's just my opinion on the matter.
Sorry, could I be reminded of the the main topic,
Mhm.
like the headline question here, because I'm blanking out. It's like breakfast time.
Are high-powered APS weapons hitting too hard? Not the system in general, just the big stuff.
Personally, I don't think any weapon can hit too hard. I don't think there is a limit, and I think trying to balance one weapon around another weapon in any matter isn't right, because every weapon's supposed to have its pros and its cons.
Isn't that kind of what I said, except less words?
Yeah, it's I actually floated this question to Dama when I first thought of it,
Mhm.
and the response was like, maybe they're a little too powerful at the top end, but it's like maybe like reduce max caliber damage by like 10% or something would be a good
Oh
effort
yeah,
to try
yeah,
and
yeah.
balance it a little bit, not like what was being thought of in that random patch that was being talked about.
Yeah, now I remember.
Yeah.
If it's like a small percentage, I could probably live with that. But what they were talking about, it just seemed a little too extreme to me. But
Also seem counterproductive, if I'm
Yeah.
honest. It's like let's make the system hit less. So, by the way, we're going to make the shells hit twice as hard.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember a Wellner saying something about him being upset by that because he felt it took away from cram cannons.
An additional from my chat, by the way, Raz is saying he thinks all near max size weapon systems,
Mhm.
like really built up really high kind of thing, are kind of OP. Not at small to medium levels where they're more limited in scope.
Yeah, but we all have to
But
remember is that those weapon systems are a huge time and resource investment if you want to use them in game as well.
It's true, but it's like balance kind of thing, isn't it?
I feel like the time and resources that you pour into them is a pretty good balance mechanism to begin with.
It can be, yeah. Some people don't seem to agree, though, which is why they're talking about changing some things.
Yeah, I think that comes to skill versus no skill.
Maybe.
I would include
Well,
here
I think
knowledge.
regardless of skill, a player should be able to enjoy FTD. Skill should just enhance their experience by making them more advanced.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
I think so. I can see why this is a valid point.
I think there might be like a lot of discussion about game balance and things seeming a little off in certain situations. Like, for instance, everyone wants to always balance Steam engines and APS, because there seems to be a disconnect with like how to actually balance the game. And I've raised this point a lot over the past few months over different platforms, but the ammo system is kind of weird right now, where it infinitely regenerates, but also is something that needs to be in game. And it makes it so that it's something that's important in battles, but not on the map, because you can spawn any size unit and just kind of go about it. But there's no unit limit, so there's no limits on what you can actually do. It makes it like not a game. It's like a sandbox through and through in kind of a bad way.
It's like there's not enough. There's too much freedom for the rules it's trying to put into place.
Yeah, that's a good way of saying it. Like it's trying to allow everyone to do everything so much that it doesn't allow an actual game to take place.
Yeah, it's like say if there was like a captain unit, like you can play the campaign, but you've only got so many captains because you've only conquered so many territories, so you can only deploy X number of units. Would that be a better thing to have?
Well,
it's like some kind of balancing factor for how much stuff you can just throw at them.
Or some kind of upkeep cost, depending on how expensive or how much volume your ship have. I mean, your ships
beyond
have.
beyond like ammo and stuff like that.
Yeah, beyond that.
I don't mean to go on a rant here or start one, so I like to ask before I can start going on a rant. But I've thought about this for a few months. Like Heismeister, you were saying, an upkeep cost. Most games have some sort of upkeep cost to like limit the size of your military. It's just like natural.
May I?
The depths. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking not exactly a upkeep cost that you have to pay. It could be also implemented that you would receive lesser resources the more volume you bring to the field. So an indirect upkeep cost?
I've been mulling over an idea for months. Really, it's just something I do it like when I'm doodling in school and thinking about FTD.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my god, sorry, my mind's blanking. I'm a little like nervous trying to get everything out because I like to type paragraphs, and so I'm thinking about
Take your time.
paragraphs.
Take
Yeah,
your
take
time.
your time.
Thank you
That's
so much.
why this is a
You're,
stream.
you're among fellow FTT drug addicts here.
Okay, I just like to give everyone their time. I don't like to take up all the
You're good.
the limelight. Okay,
No,
so
ahead.
the idea is FTD has the framework for a good strategy game and for a good game in general. It's just kind of trying to compromise on too many things, and then like I'll explain it. Like the ammo system, it's as it was explained to me by developers. It's there to make sure that fights don't go stale, so that they don't just have no ships fighting at
Mm-hmm.
all. And under the suggestion of, let's say, infinite ammunition, it's like, but then you don't have to put in ammo to your ship, and it's like, well, you don't in combat anyway, as long as you have an ammo box. It's like there's a compromise there for no reason, it feels, and it's something that shouldn't be there. But on the point of, sorry, maybe I should get some coffee and come back to this.
Coffee.
Would you like to come back to this question later?
Maybe if I had a written point, because I'm honestly just forgetting about it. Like I'm thinking so hard about. I'm sorry, what Heismeister? I'm thinking about, you were talking about something, and I had raised a point about it. It was super important, and I can't remember what it was.
We can come back to it later.
To be honest, that none of this was related to the question anyway.
No, I know. That's why I'm like, I derailed myself, and I'm like,
No,
it was something completely different.
Well, someone said in my chat actually, this is interesting. While you were talking.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So yeah, you were talking
Ammunition.
about some good stuff. So if that helps to reassure you a bit.
Okay.
And,
Let's.
Oh, anyway,
I am gonna get coffee. Excuse me. I'll come
Oh,
back with some
you're
written
fine.
points.
You're fine.
all right, shall we
sorry,
wait until he comes back with that then?
Oh no,
Um,
carry on. I'll ask chat what happened in my
yeah.
absence.
I just want to bring something up here real quick. Looks like SMS Scarlet showed up. I'm assuming that's Scarlet, one of the developers. Said in defense of the map editor, it is one of the oldest remaining parts of FTD, which is probably true. Which is what I was trying to say earlier. It's probably going to be something that's going to get an update down the line. So, apologies for our criticism. We were just stating how we felt about things. So
It's understandable that it's one of the oldest pieces because, well, how was the game built in the first place? You
Of
need a map
course.
editor for that, wouldn't you?
Of course.
So, yeah, it makes sense that they're trying to get a lot of other stuff working as well, though. So
I'm actually
Just
very
how
glad
would
to
you
hear that
rate
this is being worked on.
Hmm.
Since it's quite an important tool, actually, I feel like.
I'm sorry.
Spudcubs,
I'm
I don't
back.
know if you're listening. Are you still there, Spudcubs?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I was just writing
Okay.
down because it's easier for my brain to process written
Okay.
words for some reason.
Scarlett just told me in chat here. Unsure if I should be mentioning this, but no, we've been considering adding ammunition factories in the same way refineries work now. I actually
Ooh.
like that idea. Yeah, I'm assuming
understand
that the larger the ammunition factory, the lower the cost it would be to produce ammunition.
Oh, this is going to tick off so many people.
Yeah, I was going to raise the point actually when I was rambling about how I forgot about it. Ironically, that the natural upkeep cost of units could be accomplished by resources already in from the depths. Like some people are suggesting, bring back 5 resources to make it more like complex and have like crystal and everything. But from the depths has strategic resources already in it. You have resources which you mine from the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You have fuel which you generate from resources, and you have ammo which you generate from technically fuel and resources.
Mm-hmm.
Or in the current system, infinitely regenerating as well.
Okay.
I think like making an option at campaign start might be an idea. That way, if someone really doesn't like it, they can actually choose to use a simplified version of it, just like with local versus global resources.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I don't know. I agree, but at the same time, making more than one
Yeah,
type of game essentially makes it harder to make a.
it depends on what they think of going with, how feasible that might be or not.
Makes it harder to make it like a unified game balance, though, if you know what I mean.
What?
There's one thing I think I should bring up though before we continue.
Mhm.
Who was it that said that in your chat, Dan?
SMS Scarlet. Who's laughing there? Is that Benzo?
Sorry, I watched a shit post on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. They said they weren't sure if they should bring it up or not,
Mhm.
but I think that people in our comments threads from
Mhm.
those of us that are streaming is relevant to this discussion because they're involved as well.
Mhm.
Like I've referenced to my chat a few times, so by all means bring something up in anyone's chats, and we might try to bring it up in here if we spot it.
Yeah.
So
Scarlet says, critique when constructive means things can be improved upon. I completely agree with that. As long as, like we keep things civil, I think we can. I think
it's
we
the
can just
difference
move
between
right along.
criticism and constructive criticism, isn't it?
Yeah. Which, by the way, while we're on that, I feel like I owe someone out there an apology. I probably said some things to Draba that I could have been construed as probably being a bit of a jerk, and I want to apologize. I still disagree with what he wants to do with APS, but the way I went about expressing those opinions, I probably could have done a whole lot better. So I just wanted to get that out of the way.
No, you're stepping up and you're saying it in audio recording, so
Yeah.
I am.
So if you're listening, sorry.
Okay.
I'd like to be back to the original question about the APS hitting and the child size, let's say so. And I think, that's my opinion, but I
Could you
found
gentlemen
it,
pardon me for just a moment here? You just go on ahead without me. I gotta mute for a second.
I found it like all the not only APS but crams and actually maybe missiles not so much, but let's say so crams, APS and lasers when they big, fat, squeeze, like they should pump up really quite high DPS, yeah. And I kind of find it underwhelming even how APS hit like with 500 millimeters. They should do devastating work, yeah, shouldn't they? And they maybe do, but not always. It's not like up to the shell is bad. No, I mean, like if you have a 500 APS or it's 2 meters of a shell, yeah. So it's a big boy. It should destroy everything. And I have no idea why people just for sake of I don't know maybe making things less OP to make it weaker. I don't find it maybe not realistic, but yeah, as I said, there was a mention already, the thing you cannot build as big as you want just because your resources is a constraint. So why would you limit the DPS or anything in the first place? Because you have already other restrictions. So
This was in reference to my original question, wasn't it? Okay. Let me just clarify one bit though. It's like if you don't have much to stop a high caliber round, then yeah, high caliber round break stuff.
Yes.
I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. I just wonder if maybe they hit a little bit too hard.
No, I mean they
sense.
shouldn't be nerfed. They, in my opinion, they even might be a little bit like they are underwhelming right now. In my opinion, a little bit.
Okay.
But in my opinion, in first place, like for example, you're getting few resources. Yeah, you're getting constantly resources. In first place, you're getting probably too much of them. In my opinion, like per second in general. And the second thing is as the actual diplomacy things goes in the game and all the things happens. For example, if let's say so enemies sees you, you're growing in strength. You're getting more and bigger vessels. Anything. They should like team up and fight against you. Like not only when you're attacking white players and the lightning hoods can join to fight you. I mean, it should be on a global scale. So almost, if you like, for example, progressing, you're already having for your own half of the map. Why the other teams shouldn't team up, stop fighting, and go against you? Just because you can have so big vessels, so many resources, like it's kinda, and then a big weapons would be totally viable because you're going to have to fight against many opponents, and they should hit hard.
All right, I am back. Sorry for that, gentlemen. The exterminator had to come by, and there wasn't really getting around that today. So yeah,
I don't know.
Apartment
Does
living.
anyone agree with my mention? But okay.
What are you talking more about? How the different factions should react to you getting bigger and stronger during a campaign?
That's
Is that what you were talking about?
It's connected to the like, for example, any weapon system that is, oh, it's big so it hits hard.
Yeah, that's something different though, and I don't know if there's any
I know,
plans for the empires to have an overall AI like that. At least I've not heard
that
anything
would
about
be
that.
really nice. But also, it's not so simple just to nerf this thing, or nerf this thing, or boost this thing.
Yeah, I know.
All
It's never
connected.
that simple.
It's
Never that
connected and influence each other. So it's not like only resources or only weapons or only factions. No, it's connected, and you cannot just do something and not looking at other things.
I mean, I really think the solution to all of this is to make ammo not infinite, like I think you said Scarlet had said in the chat they're working on.
They were thinking about
yeah, they're talking
Doing
about
it refinery
ammunition
style?
factories. Well,
If
that'll
they were
work.
to do that,
yeah.
I think it would fix all of these problems in the game about balance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I'm a little more sane now, and I could think that when Heismeister brought up upkeep cost, I was remembering that if you were to make ammo something like fuel,
Mm-hmm.
you'd have to produce ammo and fuel to upkeep units. Think about it right now as try to spawn a battleship in campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We can do it right now if this were campaign in our little starting fortress. It doesn't matter how big the ship is or how much guns it has or how big the missiles are, because we could fire them if we have ammo boxes.
Mm-hmm.
If we had to generate the ammo, like every unit of ammo costs us some unit of or some number of resources,
Mm-hmm.
then it would cost to upkeep that unit naturally just to fire its weapons. So smaller, more efficient units would just be better for the early game. You can make swarm units in the later game, and then having a capital ship and a larger fleet would be something that would feel good, and you would actually have to have a very large economy to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And then the factions, you don't have to make bigger and bigger units because there would be a capacity to how much economy can be had on the entire map.
No, that's true.
Well, what if I'm just throwing this out there? What if they nerfed the amount of ammo regen and added the factories? Like maybe brought it down,
That
maybe
would
like by
be
Any ammo regen would be bad.
even if it was like 10% of what it is right now.
So
The fact that it exists is the part that's making it a variable of infinite value.
Let's look just at the example of a battle. Yeah, two teams are fighting each other, and but all the vessels are out of ammo. What are you doing then? And also that would be really good that would have a really good connection with not limit, like you can flee from the battle and not lose the vessels, because then you could resupply yourself or flee. That would be a brilliant option. Or make some bombers, long range bombers to attack and go back. So I think still, for example, my all units relies on ammo regeneration. Actually, that's kinda dumb, but yeah, I do it. And if there would be the ammo capacity per box would be increased, like, I don't know, let's say so 10, 20 times, ammo regen would be dropped to 0 or really low numbers. I would accept that, and that would be like a realistic thing, and wouldn't make the game like if you would stop a battle because you have no resources to continue, then it would really help. That's why it's still there, I guess, the ammo region.
Yes, that's a point that I saw that was brought up in a Reddit discussion.
Yeah, but when connected to, you can leave the battle without losing the actual units, the ammo region wouldn't be necessary.
Yeah, there was an idea fleshed out among my YouTube comments as well about a localized battle area.
Yes, I'm really I'm adversing saying to this thing exactly, because that is one of the best things which can make this game a real game, an RTS actual. And yeah, I would like to continue on that later, not to bring here right now everything, but that's a really good point.
SMS Scarlet had basically the same idea, was to slow the ammo regen down too, but that way so there's like never a true stalemate. But maybe, I don't know, just an idea I just had that I want to pitch to you guys. What if you had an option to remove the craft when all the ammo is depleted, like zeroed out completely? After about a minute, you have an option to pull it out of combat, no questions asked.
Yeah, blockades don't really make much sense.
Yeah.
Just in general.
Since it's only you who can be blockaded.
I think if anything, there should be instead of the blockade system, maybe since they're doing this new dynamic campaign AI, make a what would it be called? Like an AI maneuver for them to go around your fortress or units to physically blockade it, but make it so
like
if
a
you
pincer
enter,
movement.
Yeah, but if you like an actual blockade, just surround the thing.
Oh.
But if you were like trying to get resources out to your units, let's say, they would raid your cargo, whatnot, and instead of a blockade on proximity system, it would be just battle on proximity.
So Scarlett wants to follow up her comment with, so there might be a natural cap of 1,000 ammo, even if you have a 1,000k ammunition capacity. You only ever regen up to 1,000 slowly on its own. Oh, okay. I think I see what Scarlett's saying here. So it would probably be like a percentage of the overall ammo, not like. I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I think what's being said here is the ammo regen would be done up to a point and then no more. What do you think on that, Spud Cubs?
I don't know. Any ammo regen would make it so that you're still regenerating ammunition as your primary source of ammunition, and then producing ammunition through resources would be a general boost to your effectiveness, instead of it being that you have to rely on it to be able to even fight.
Okay. I'm just curious if you'd have any thoughts on that idea there.
Yeah, I'm against it.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm kind of neutral towards that one, if I'm honest. It's like having some might be of use, but Spud Cub's concern about it, like having the craft relying exclusively on that's also something to be wary of if it's going down that route. So, but personally, I just want to get my hands on the ammo factory and have fun tinkering with that. Is that wrong with me?
No, not at all.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
I can see that ammo processors would have a very important place in this scenario.
Can I bring something up about possible ammo factories? Just something that popped into my head that I would just personally prefer it to be like the fuel refineries, because I know the devs like to make things nice and complicated and make it cool. But it shouldn't be as complicated as something, let's say, steam engines, because steam engines have a right to be complicated, but if you're making ammo processors, ammo refineries, it shouldn't be like make a conveyor belt and like the stampers, you know what I mean? Like you don't have to make.
I'm just talking like you add parts to increase production or increase efficiency, things like that. Kind of like the refineries are. I think in those terms that would be perfect.
If they made it big and heavy and not able to be on unstable platforms like the fuel refinery, it would have a great benefit of promoting fortresses and buildings because you could more easily produce fuel and ammunition and then more easily protect them.
Mm-hmm.
There should be more land on Nieder for that to actually happen because we really only have Airwick and Fishbone. And
Well,
then
you can
nothing else
also
is really flat.
You can also like build like a platform up from the bottom of the ocean, but you know, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's nice. But there's a lot of ocean to do that with.
Yeah.
That's true. First question from my chat. Hertzmeister, do you have your own YouTube channel?
Yes, I do.
Is it just the same as your display name?
It's just the same, yeah. Just
Well,
click on my name.
there you go, Jason
Yeah.
Standella. Hertzmeister has his own YouTube channel. Yeah, sorry.
So where do we leave off with the discussion? Whose turn was it?
It was still on me.
Just to make
I love how much this has come from just me asking a single question about APS.
It's a good conversation when you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could I just make one quick clarification? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
No, go ahead.
SMS Scarlet said before I research Scarlet's name, this is Rhea, by the way. So I just want to make sure that it's actually the developer Rhea that we're talking to, not Scarlet. So I just want to make that clear for everyone.
The
Hi, Rhea.
developer Rhea. Hi, Rhea.
Everyone
Hello,
says hi,
Rhea.
Rhea.
It sounds like diarrhea when you say it like that.
Don't say stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, if Rhea's put up to
diarrhea.
this point, I'd like to think they have a sense of humor. So continue.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Raz, as well. Raz is actually, well, you know how vocal Raz can be sometimes.
Oh yeah,
My
I can
chat's
be the
full of
same way.
Raz talking about things. It's just that I've been listening to other people, so I've not been butting in at all with that.
Mm-hmm.
He had thoughts on how APS seems a bit too powerful compared to other weapons in the high end of weapon performance, because it's like they hit harder than almost any other system, and they are also hard to defend against as well.
And
which is why
they scale almost like lasers,
Mm.
meaning they become very, very powerful once you put a certain amount of resources in.
And then he had something about all craft should be rated by their combat power, like surface versus air versus subsurface, and that their difficulty, in quotes, basically only depends on combat power per cost as a possible way to measure
But how would
relative
you
effectiveness of designs.
How would you measure that? I mean, are we talking about player-made craft, or are we talking about campaign craft?
In general,
Okay.
I think it is.
So how would one
Like,
calculate that? I'm
I think it's
assuming
like
some
rather
kind of
than
a DAC
a single
account,
combat
or
rating. Yeah, basically, like this unit is really good against aircraft, but it sucks against boats.
Hmm.
You know, that kind of thing. I think. I'm generalizing a bit because I don't want to try and drag this back down again into my own question, because we've got this far and we've only had a couple of questions, basically.
you make a good point.
I'm aware of these have been very interesting derailments, but basically we have derailed quite thoroughly.
That's
if
fair.
I'm being quite honest. Last one is about forces being able to withdraw from combat. Basically, what Raz says is basically if a side runs out of ammo and has no weapon systems, which does not use ammo, then they have to retreat, aka get enough distance from the enemy so they can disengage and leave the battle. So I'm thinking that's like if they can actually successfully back off enough to disengage, they should be allowed to without losing the vessels. But if they can't get far enough away, then that ship is basically going to be lost.
Well, here's my thing. What if that ship is disabled and your ship is disabled to the point where no movement's possible?
In which case, neither would have an advantage of being able to chase down the other.
Yeah,
So
but
my personal thought would be they both get to withdraw from combat, but they can't blockade each other until they get fixed.
So maybe like put some sort of timer in there where you have to like wait a minute or two,
it's
and
like,
then you can withdraw.
Yeah, it's like this craft is marked as damaged. It must withdraw and be fully repaired before it can engage in battle once again.
I like that. I think that might be a good mechanic.
Yeah,
and
it's a little restrictive, at least on
well,
the
it doesn't have to be full repair, because
conditions.
that'll vary from ship to ship. But it's like it will prevent them from being able to engage properly in battles again or harass each other until they've been withdrawn to a relatively safe distance and fixed up a bit.
And blockading could maybe also disable any transfer of resources from and to the blockaded unit.
Yeah, that might be it, rather than forcing the combat.
Okay.
So that was some extra thoughts in there.
Britt, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I would like to ask, why though you want to do any kind of those like restrictions, or like the crafts are behaving exactly this way, like you're prohibiting them from fighting or blockading or anything? Why just not let them move? Like you need to transport it back to the base and repair. Enemy fleet can pursue it and actually kill it before it gets to your base and get repaired. Like, why not make it dynamic? Like Spad Caps have actually proposed, and this is really good mechanic. Probably hard to implement, but it would make this game really cool.
Probably because it's hard to implement.
Yes, stuff like that. There's all sorts of different ways. I mean, we're bouncing stuff around, but I think we've come up with like 3 or 4 different opinions on how it might work out already, and this is just among a couple of people. So
yeah,
probably all of those propositions were really restrictive, as I would like to say.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Don't think this is just a conversation between 4 people, because all of us have our chats and everyone in the From the Devs Discord and everyone else listening.
Yeah. Yes, there's more going on here, but
it's kind of like we have the eyes of the world on us.
Yeah, but we don't. We also at the end of the day, there's only a few voices here as well. We can't articulate every version of everything to everyone. Unfortunately,
we're only human.
So I guess we move on to Spud Cup's question.
Yeah, if we think that my question has been well and truly murdered and laid to rest, we should move on to Spud Cups.
Yeah, it's a dead zombie. Yeah.
I don't have any questions for anyone.
Okay. Well, you more than brought up your fair share of topics.
This is true.
But no, thank you for bringing good stuff up.
It's mainly just meme until you dream, boys. Meme until you dream.
Actually, to make this sound more official, Raz is actually asking, is someone taking notes to post the summary on the official forum later?
Well, this is this is all being recorded, so
yeah, it's recorded and streamed. Also, Raz then said immediately after, "I'm not volunteering."
Clever.
Also,
don't write anything down from the first part of the stream.
Rhea wants to remind us that in the stalemate situations, both sides, when they're too damaged to do anything, the player can always directly intervene. I'm assuming that just jump in with your avatar and do whatever you need to do.
That is true.
In the time of... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I still remember back during my first ever YouTube series, I actually got yelled at by some people in the comments because I went and boarded and captured an enemy ship because my ship got damaged, and I scrapped it for lots of resources. So it's like, I think that's another one of those things that some people like, some people agree with, but some people don't like how it can be used and or abused based on what their opinion of that might be.
I don't know if you could really call it abuse if it's something that's built into the game itself, but whatever.
Let me put it this way. I went in with a small boat. My small boat got crippled. I captured a massive sailing ship worth something like 20 or 30 times the resources of my craft that went in.
Right.
And I immediately scrapped it and used it to build other stuff.
I see no problem with this because that stuff happens in real life all the time.
But the thing is that stuck with me because I still remember it even now, and this was easily like 4 or 5 years ago.
But you also have to remember that was your playthrough. I mean, you do it however the hell you want.
Excuse me,
I'm always vulnerable.
I do have a question here, actually.
Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Are you all aware of Nick's recent forum post about commendations?
Commendations? No, could you...
in short, Nick had suggested... he wanted people's opinions on this. He had suggested some sort of system for making accommodations where you can, in combat, buy more ammo or fuel or reinforcements or taunt the enemy for more enemies to fight through kind of like you just kind of have points and you spend them kind of system.
Influence, you mean?
Yeah. But in a way of like directly purchasing from points.
How would you get said points, though? I guess would be my first question.
I mean that's kind of on Nick. We can pull up the forum post and have it explained.
Could go with.
But
could go the route of like having like a neutral trade faction, like you
My-
spend a thing, a neutral ship flies out and gives you the stuff, and then just disappears again.
what I
So-
wanted to raise about the Nick's commendations though is, do you guys use your player skills or like actively? Because
No.
I
that
thought
would be
that's
the
probably where
commendations.
you were going with this.
Yeah.
Other than the minigun and the grenade launcher, I guess not.
I
Maybe
pretty
my
much put all
others.
my points into like
If-
mechanic.
If it was more invested in like the player upgrade system, where upgrades were something you were encouraged to do more, and maybe if your levels reset per campaign, so it wasn't just more experienced players have more abilities, it was like each campaign you work to get what you have and you get better off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do it like that, you can have like more ammo regeneration, so better economy. I mean, I think we already have things like that though.
Oh, you mean the ship-wide
more missile
upgrade
damage.
system?
Yeah, we have skill
Oh.
points that we can
Yeah,
allocate.
I've used those.
Yeah.
Instead of instead of commendations, if we just made those more important and made them like per instance, as in like per PvP fight, per single player campaign.
So you're essentially
that would
basically
be-
that system's already in place. It just needs to be reworked.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, that I think I'd be interested in that. One thing though, actually, sorry if I'm bouncing back a little bit. It's like using your characters to capture a ship. I think like I would like to see some way for craft to actually be protected against hostile players wandering over to them.
Mm-hmm.
Like some kind of like onboard defense or something. Like
Yeah.
there was those old plans to have crew on ships at one point.
The NPCs I think took up too much computer processing power, so they were kind of just scrapped.
And they were
Maybe
super
just
annoying.
like a small defense turret or something that you could install in a vital area to stop someone getting, well, resist someone, not stop them.
I would ask them for two options. One is just main weapons, and all the weapons actually would track the player and trying to shoot it when there's no major enemies. And if not this, for example, just get rid of the player character in the first place. Or make it that's you're not able to capture enemy vehicles.
I think this is important and controversial to talk about, and I think we should hang on the topic of Rambot because
maybe we should. Yeah.
Because although it's a little more like free look with weapons with how Rambot works right now, it shows that From the Depths has the potential and the possibility to be at the same time an amazing strategy game, an amazing creative building game, and an amazing first-person shooter game.
Yeah, but I don't see the first-person shooter part
yet.
If Rambot was slowed down, maybe wasn't like so godlike. If you were like walking speed, you know.
Okay, but what
Maybe.
would be its what you would like to achieve with it? Because I don't see any particular reason why. What would you like to do with it? Yeah.
Well, let me bring up that before 5 resources was removed, it was kind of more along like you would be able to see it more as a first person shooter because AIs were a premium. Crystal was expensive, and to create AIs and shields, you had to save up or really wait and grow Crystal, although you had the chance of being attacked if you did that.
Yeah.
And
but
so you had to kind of focus on either limiting yourself to 1 or 2 units or just trying to capture.
So it would require actual crew, as it was mentioned, and I think it would be viable option. Then
something
Rambot would stay.
Maybe just make AI parts cost some sort of another premium resource like we used to have, because it seems like that would be appropriate. Like lasers and other high tier weapons, so that they have a reason to be high tier and do more damage and have advantages.
Okay. I just want to bring up something that Ria's brought up in chat here. Maybe if they were active defenses against the player, like Rhea seems to think maybe some type of simple weapon could probably fill that role in the future.
Probably
Yeah,
could, yeah. It would no need
right.
to a full system, just like something small.
I was just
Like
thinking
even
of
simple cannon.
taking the mannequin and like give it maybe an SMG and call it a day.
We you can even that'd be absolutely wonderful.
Mm.
What do you guys think about the
Even
mannequin being a selectable player model and maybe like for a game mode, like if you don't want to be godly Rambot?
Well,
I
I
miss the
think
Copterbot.
yeah,
Yes.
I like that one a lot better than Rambot. I have to say, I miss Scuttlebot.
About the blocks that were supposed to spawn in the enemy, maybe crew members? Yeah, is it like this? They would just wander around the ship and
Mhm.
try to shoot it at you if you would be in close range, and that would be it.
If you guys remember, old NPCs used to actually get into turrets and act as the AI in the absence of an AI.
But they wouldn't have to be as an AI replacement. They would just try to shoot it.
Yeah,
Shoot at you. That's all.
Yeah, it's just a cool addition. I was also thinking maybe controllable security cameras or something like that. Just a small, simple weapon type thing.
It wouldn't be
Well-
too hard to do. I think the infrastructure for security cameras is already in place. So
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
already got camera modules in the
Mhm.
game.
Yeah, exactly. It's wonderful.
Hmm.
On the guns that Rhea put into the simple weapons, what do you guys think? Because I think they're a little too complex for FTD, a little too creative, limiting.
How so?
Yeah, how so?
Like the plating on them, the style, the chairs on them, the putting a turret on the actual simple weapon. I understand they are simple weapons, but
Mhm.
it kind of removes the ability to do them your own way.
Well, I think the nice addition,
Well-
just a disable button to make it move or not move. That's all for now.
Well, you always
What?
have the option to use them or not.
No, not the option to use them or not, but to make them static or allow them to rotate.
Okay.
I'm a bit confused by talking about the simple weapon category, because it's like there are some complex stuff in there. Like I'm really getting back into drills at the moment. And by the way, I want to thank the devs for the recent updated drills, because whatever you guys did to make them actually not snap themselves in half, they are looking a lot more viable to me at the moment.
Awesome.
So
Yeah, I know you were
I'm
talking
really
about
enjoying
that the other day.
I'm going to make the old death roller from Red Alert. It's going to be
Nice.
fun. I actually got one working as well. And then it chewed through a massive enemy ship, so I'm happy with it.
Someone is happy.
Yeah. What can I say? I've never quite given up on drills the way a lot of people have, and so I like the recent change where they actually work now.
Oh.
You know?
I look forward to your next drill ship build.
I'll try not to keep you waiting too long on that one.
Okay. Where are we at in the discussion then? We kind of went off a tangent again, I think.
In a good way, again, I think.
Mhm.
Spud Cubs came up with a question. So, Spud Cubs, did we discuss your question adequately to your satisfaction?
Yeah, it was just, were you guys aware of the commendations? Is all.
Yeah. Okay, so that means it's Dama's turn with a question.
Did Brick get his turn though?
What?
Brick?
What?
Did you have a question that you wanted to pose to the group, sir? Before I go?
Well, it's just the general discussion about making this game more of RTS style. Like it's supposed to be right now, but it's not in my opinion. And I would just speak about again the ammo region and the how battles are actually made right now.
Mhm.
But I guess we can leave it for later because it's a big thing and it would change the gameplay actually quite a lot. So maybe let's chew through the smaller questions and be back to later to this.
So you're saying that basically you just want to see overall improvement to the strategic map AI?
It's not an improvement, it's a big change. Like, let's put it this way.
Okay. Oh, yeah, we can come back to it if you're fine with that.
Yeah, because like it's a big thing. I rather think let's end up everything else because this will be rather a big thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Then yeah, I guess I would. It's my turn to bring up the next question. So I guess my next question for the group is, what is something that you would like to see added to the game the most? Hertzmeister, let's start with you, and we'll work back around.
Okay. You might be surprised about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, may I name 2 things that I would like to see added?
Sure, why not?
Okay, one thing would be a you all know the gravity compensator, right? For
Mhm.
APS that
Mhm.
simulates gravity. I would like to see a component for APS and cramps that simulates increased gravity to finally use some high arcing weapons.
Hmm.
That's
Isn't
just
that what
a
it's for?
odd little thing I'd like to see.
So something you could like slap on in the fuse box?
Yeah, something like that.
I think
I
that's
mean, your shell
that's a
doesn't
decent
go
request.
into
Yeah.
space, just
Make
moves
more
in a high arc.
again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you saying that for crams?
For cramps and
Oh.
APS, yes.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I didn't hear the cram bit. I was like, what?
And my second thing I would like to see is another odd one. That's contrails for jets at a high altitude.
Like maybe 300-400 meters plus.
Yeah, like 500 meters and above.
Yeah, I'm just throwing
that's
out
high
numbers.
altitude for us.
Yeah.
That custom jet engines and maybe the small simple ones and big simple ones just produce some white contrails. That's all.
Okay.
And they, of course, could be toggled on and off, like the bubble trails in water.
Yeah,
propellers.
that's something that I think could easily be implemented. I mean, they already do that with the missiles, so yeah.
I have just another thing
Mhm.
that I would like to see. I'm sorry, I'm stealing everyone's time here, but torpedoes used to show a bubble trail on the water surface
Mhm.
not long ago. They don't do that anymore. It's kind of sad, I think. They
So
should probably bring
it's
that
not
back.
exactly something that would affect gameplay, but just something that would be a nice visual.
Yeah, just a nice visual.
Okay, I think that'd be acceptable. Ion, same question.
Well, you already know the answer to this one, since every time we talk about what might be nice to have from the decks, I bring it up, and that is, give me my darn plasma cannons.
There it is.
Give me my darn plasma cannons. Yeah. Though, should I go into the whole rigmarole of my actual thought for what might be a decent system for that? Yeah, the one that's a bit like Steam, or
if you could
would
keep
that
it
be
brief, sure.
Okay. My thought was like something similar to the Steam system is now. It's like a central source that generates the plasma,
Mhm.
pipes to take the plasma to where you want it. Though we'd need a turret base that could actually accept a pipe like that going through. And then you'd have the actual turret part of it, which is kind of like a laser turret right now, like a separate block system part. And that would affect how the actual plasma shot works. Like it gathers up the ammo like a cram cannon's ammo box does, and then it's like, does it release all of that at once? Does it? It's like lots and lots of small shots. Does it wait until it's full charged, or does it wait until it like can just
So
fire a
almost
single
like
volley?
the PAC mechanics.
Yeah, except it's like it's ammo based,
Okay.
effectively, since it relies on ammo being supplied to it by that central plasma generator,
Okay.
like a laser core. So I guess it's like a hybrid system kind of thing.
Okay.
Functions a bit like Steam, but it's more similar to a laser system overall.
Okay.
You're making my little Rambot parts excited talking about it.
I think some of the discussions are like of how the Covenant plasma weapons in the Halo books is a good example. Like we all know the Covenant plasma torpedo, long range plasma shot, big, burny, scary ball of fiery death kind of thing. And then in one book, Cortana got her hands on one of those, and she basically turned it into a plasma lance.
Ooh.
It
So
fired
she gave someone a
it
burning
condensed it.
sensation, is what you're saying.
A very precise burning sensation, yes. But it functioned more like a laser because she like really focused it down, and it became. She cut some Covenant ships in half with that thing.
That sounds like some Emperor's Wrath kind of shit right there.
The thing is, though, it was the same turret mechanism as the plasma torpedoes use.
That
did that, but she only fired it a full of times, and then it depleted the plasma turret's local reserve of plasma, and it would need time to recharge.
Okay.
So it's like, it wasn't meant to work that way, but it could. It just wasn't built for it, so it didn't work that effectively overall. Though the bisected Covenant ships might beg to differ.
Right.
But so it's like that. It's like you have this resource, decide how you want to lob it in the enemy, and watch hilarity ensue. Or if you do it wrong, your ship's going to blow up instead because someone breached your plasma core. Good job, you.
Spud Cubs. Well, we already talked about that you want to do some things with ammo, but do you want to expand upon that, or do you want to bring up another thing that you'd like to see added to the game?
Oh no, the thing I want to see added to the game, and by added to the game, I mean the main campaign, Neater, the main planet, the thing that everyone plays and new players do.
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be expanded, just literally bigger map dimensions. And interestingly enough, a difference between when gravity ends and where your atmosphere ends, because I feel like jets flying off into space is a big problem, especially when the stratosphere is only so small.
I could see how that'd be an issue for you because you're probably one of the best jet designers in the room that I know of right now. So
Thank you.
I can't even build a plane.
No. I just recently tried getting into them, and they're okay-ish, but Spud Cubs is like on a whole different level. So.
Well, not just for planes would it be great, but making like a new domain for airships. I know AIs have a limit to their range, and you want all units to kind of be able to fight in the same volume, but it kind of removes the benefit of having airships or air vehicles in general, besides they just go fast.
Why not just paint it red?
A floating island kind of map?
I was just saying, why not just paint it red, Red goes faster.
Red goes faster. Yeah, definitely. That's why I paint all my jets red, definitely.
A fellow orc fanatic.
But more ocean and more land, just bigger map dimensions in general, making more nothing, right? Because nothing is as important as something in a game. Contrast is great. To have a great open space to travel your fleet over and to have to resupply over a great distance to try to siege an enemy city, like the Onyx Watch throne that's just covered in bulwarks. Those like that supply would make sense. Aircraft range would be something you'd have to consider. Fuel use would be something that would be much, much, much more important.
So you want to add a heavier strategic element?
I think so, yes. And I don't think it would affect the way people play it as a designer or model builder game, because they would still be able to do that and then do tournament style gameplay without any of these ammo or map dimension changes affecting them at all.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add to that?
I'd just like to reiterate that maybe max the gravity hideout, but keep the atmosphere a little lower so that you still have to kind of shoot through a little bit of gravity with ion thrusters before you can actually get out of it.
Oh, okay. Brick, do you have anything that you'd like to see added?
Well, I have things I would like to see change, not like on big mechanical, or maybe also. But let's start from the probably simplest one. First thing is we have nukes in game, yeah.
Yes.
And they are deadly. I have to admit, but there seems pretty like for me. So what I would like to see as a change in game. First thing. Nuke block would be maybe not deleted, but changed into something like a nuke core, let's say so. Like if you build few of them touching each other, you can actually make a big nuclear charge actually, and make it work as, I don't know, a big oof for everything.
So you want to find a way to supercharge the tactical nukes, is what you're saying?
Well, yeah, they wouldn't be a tactical nuke. They would be an actual nuke. So I don't know, like everything in range of 10 kilometers.
I know. I was just trying to boil it down to simplest terms.
Yeah, everything out.
So bigger explosives then?
Not bigger explosives.
Just
for an actual nuke, not a.
Just a little blippy thought in my head. What do you think about it being like a large missile attachment that takes up like
That's
4
my
meters
second point.
of it minimum.
That's my
Sorry, what?
second point.
That is
I would like
tempting.
to see,
I won't lie, that is tempting.
Ooh.
I would like to see in big missiles you would be able to add a nuke component, which be an actual tactical nuke that we have in the game, which
Mhm.
be like, I don't know, 10, 15 times more expensive than like an HE warhead for now in terms of ammo cost. So when it hits, it does nice oof, but it's really like costly. Also, as I mentioned, right now the tactical nuke would, I don't know, cost like one block would cost, let's say so, 20k, 30k per one block. And if you, I don't know, stack 9 of them close to each other, if they detonate, they destroys everything in range of, I don't know, 15, 10 kilometers.
That sounds like a great idea for a mod, actually.
That would solve the problem of the
I would
delivery
have fun
system
with
as
that.
well.
I don't know.
I just hope the safety still works when they haven't been launched from the tube yet.
Yeah, but I'm like saying we have right now the ICBM from the extension, yeah. So those nukes that is carrying right now would be changed for this idea. I like you know what I mean. The second thing is prop size. Oh, I hate how it works right now. Like you have 3-meter thing. Okay, that's maybe not big in comparison to, I don't know, a few 100-meter ship. But I would like to see 5, 7-meter, 9-meter depower-based propulsion system, or maybe add something like for a steam-based, something small that needs to take the power from the overall power from your ship and can power the propellers. So 7 and 9-meter, maybe 11 meters props would be a thing, and they would make a big kick because right now they are like, I don't know, I need to stack 50 of them to make my ship go any reasonable speeds.
Could I just put things on hold for a second? It looks like people are giving us questions here in the from the depths typing at voice here.
Wait, what?
Yeah, people are
Okay.
like typing questions in the typing at voice in the Discord.
Oh, I see.
Well, I've actually picked up an extra question from Razul in my chat as well. I was going to mention it in a little bit.
So if anyone wants to like respond to those, let me know.
Yeah, I will respond to everything right now. Yeah, go
on. Well, the first thing Flyan says here, I think that's one of the keepers of the lore, or something like
I'm
that.
seeing it. Well, I guess if you can spend for a one vehicle, like as costly as one battleship that, I don't know, costs, let's say so, 500k, and you can wipe out almost everything from existence in close range. Well, but it's easy, like, let's say so, relatively easy to shoot down, then, well, it's like everything or nothing. You can take it down with, I don't know, fighters, a lot of AAs, anything, and that wouldn't be so hard to counter. But if you wouldn't defend against it, it would hit
So
hard.
kind of like the nukes in Civilization 2, where like if you didn't have the like the laser satellite defense, your city would get nuked.
No. I don't like to make like a new one block thingy existence. I want to, as you have right now, ICBM from Great Talons. Just those nukes, that nukes blocks that are in, they would be converted to, I don't know, like 1-meter actual block, one by 1 by 1 by 1, like 1 meter by 1 meter, 1 by meter, and it would make together it would make stronger charge.
Okay.
And also maybe it would to be like maybe not loaded, but actual production of uranium and plutonium takes a while. Yeah. So for example, it would be a new resources that you need to produce, and it waits a lot, or you need to wait a lot of time to make it.
Okay.
What if they brought it back in the form of crystal so that we can get that
like
delicious
uranium,
premium resource?
or something like this would be beneficial. For example, a lot of people wanted actual nuclear power, so it would be viable for nukes. that would need takes a long time to prepare, but
Yeah.
it would destroy things.
Okay.
And also you could probably power something, yeah, because of nuclear power. Also, the third thing, I have 6 things to change here.
Can we do? All right, give us the next most important one on your list, and then we'll probably have to move on.
Okay, so the most okay, so SpatCaps have said about atmosphere. I would like to make it 10 kilometers high, so jet things would be viable, and gravity wouldn't scale just like we have gravity here, and it ends. That's the first thing, and air thing like would be more denser the lower we are, and yeah, just
Okay.
like this. And the actual thing I want to mention is the actual physics, like on the missiles, are applied only when you have no fuel left. Yeah. What about making? I know the more calculations involved, but actual physics would be applied on a missile all the time. But you would have like I don't know, the actual motors would take 5 times less the fuel, use 5 times less the fuel, but it would have encountered the drag all the time. So it's not like free to fly as it wants right now, because it's totally not physics based. You have only physics applied when its fuel is out.
Well, I don't think it's that the physics are only applied when the fuel's out. I think it's just that there's so much drag in the atmosphere that as soon as it doesn't have any thrust, it just
It feels like soup all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
it doesn't
the
feel
game
like
is
right now.
the game is soup, so that airships can be easy to make.
Yeah,
it's
but
like
as I mentioned, it would be for missiles, not for like airships. Airships have already their own physics. Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying like the soup in the atmosphere is there so that it doesn't take like a ton of thrust to put something in the air.
Yeah, I know.
And it's just a symptom of the.
I really dislike this because yeah, it should be denser. But for example, like planes would actually fly because of the how it's called. I forget the word. The lift, because of lift. Like we have right now, it's so artificial for me.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, okay, so let's move on because yeah, I'm taking a lot of time.
Oh, don't worry. Do we have a time limit for this event?
Not really.
No.
Oh, okay. Then don't worry about it.
Well,
But it's like
Too much, but a lot of people here, though, they're like over in Europe, so it's probably a whole lot later for them than it is for us. So.
It's 8 right now for me, and in like East Europe.
Someone added walls.
Yeah, I think someone's been improving our studio area here.
Yeah. Okay.
I got an idea who, but you know.
Should I continue on?
You don't hear anything.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine.
Never mind the man behind the curtain.
I didn't see nothing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, what were you going to say, Brick?
Okay.
Should I continue on my another changes, or should we move on?
I think we should probably move on from there, but thank you. That's a lot of stuff for us to think about.
Oh, the fortress is dying because engine, right?
Oh, what?
Sorry.
Oh, the engine was taken out, so the fortress is dying because it's losing power.
I'll put it next
is that all? Okay.
To the cast
of
Nick. Just put an RTG and a fuel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just like slap some RTGs and batteries and call it a day.
Oh, I'll slap it all right.
Giggity. All right. I guess that's the thing that I would like to see added is basically a quality of life thing for me. How many of you all have like placed an engine from a platform and then you're like, oh crap, I put this in the wrong position, or it's the wrong engine, or who knows what? What I want is some kind of reverse mode version of a prefab where you say between these spatial coordinates, I want everything wiped out. That would be my thing.
That sounds actually quite useful.
Mm-hmm.
That's or an undo button.
Undo button would have been my. That's at the top of my list as well.
if prefabs if you could tell a prefab to just overwrite an area, that could double as a delete.
That would, yeah.
Yeah, I think what Dan was talking about was like if you set an area like with a current prefab, but then it empties out that area, so it just destroys all blocks within that area.
Yes.
That's really dangerous. If you, for example, I don't know, have you made anything like this? You had an engine, and something haven't worked out, like, I don't know, a few pipes haven't been added or something, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to make the same, you're going to spawn the same prefab over it, yeah? Overlap totally.
Mm-hmm.
And you misplace it by one block.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, everything that was like the new prefab where it had holes, and the old prefab where there were blocks, they're going to be deleted. I wouldn't like to see it. I wouldn't like to see an actual tool for deleting as a anti-prefab, but not one you're making, but as in-game, which actually deletes, not overwrites.
Okay.
I mean, yay.
But yeah, mostly for me, it'd be like quality of life stuff in the build mode. But that's where I spend most of my time. Okay, I guess that's all my questions. So who do we want to move on? Ion, you did
that
yours,
means,
right?
we've
Then
done
we
the
did
questions
Spud
for me.
Cubs, Brick.
We've all done one question now.
Okay.
So wait, can you hear the voice chat?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Sorry to interrupt.
Who's this?
Are you sorry? Are you really sorry?
Well, not that sorry.
Doesn't sound like it.
Hello.
Slightly.
Hi, Flyons.
Flyons has been lurking in the chat for a while. He just hasn't said anything yet.
Anyway, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Go ahead.
On me. Fly on me.
Okay. Anyway, Heitzmeister, what is the second question you'd like to pose to the group, sir?
Oh.
Wait, wasn't Flyers asking something?
I thought he was, and then he went quiet.
First.
Hello?
Flyers, do you have a question you want to throw at us?
I mean, I have an older, comment more. When you guys are talking about nukes, that did sort of exist through blueprint modding, and having seen what something a fraction of the size can do, there's no way that can ever be balanced. There were nukes that we built that could vaporize anything within about 700, 800 meters, and there's just no way of balancing that. Either it costs too much to ever use, or it's a win the game button.
Yeah, what would keep you from like completely spamming a position with nukes and just like utterly turning it into a glass parking lot?
No, I mean it would be so incredibly blatantly overpowered unless you made it cost so much that it just couldn't ever be used, in which case, why even have it?
Well, if it costs a lot, it would just cost a lot.
Well, there are
but
things to
no
consider.
amount of money that it could cost that would balance it out without making it unusable.
No, so there's a way to make it balanced. One thing is a cost that is high.
A million resources would be somewhere in the range of what is balanced, but at a certain point, just build a big ship and steamroll everything manually.
Well, I mean, a cost would be one thing, and the another, you can take it out pretty easily, yeah? Like, you would have certain ways of getting rid of a nuke going straight for you. And if you can get rid of it, and enemy had like spent quite a lot of time and resources for it, he'll probably not try to engage with this type of weapon and gun. And if you haven't prepared for it, you're going to get wiped out. Yeah, for example, like your entire fleet got vaporized, but you're going to know that enemy can throw nukes at you, so we're going to prepare for next time. And
Sorry.
Like,
I think
it wouldn't be unbalanced because you're going to be able to defend against it. That's the point.
I just think you drastically underestimate the value of removing an entire fleet from existence.
Oh, okay. It's not like okay. It would remove actually, like it should have removed things in quite some
I mean,
considerable range.
We
But
have had those in the game. They have existed in the past. Like, actually existed in game without mods. And people try in their
what range?
campaign games
Well-
balancing them out, but throwing away resources for it.
I hate to cut you guys short, but I think you guys have kind of made your points here, but we probably need to move this along.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, on the topic of moving things along, Hector scared me.
What?
Look how small he is.
That really does put the game in context.
I know,
Just
right?
because you're dealing with meters, like 15 meters.
Where'd he
tall.
go? See, that's small. I made him microscopic and he disappeared.
Mm.
Oh no, I just moved. Sorry. Continue. Like a poltergeist.
I was tapped out because I was marveling at how many people are actually in the voice channel.
I
now.
know.
It's like,
I
wait a
keep
second,
hearing
what's
people
that?
popping in and out of it all the time. This has grown
Hello,
like
new people.
crazy. I'm not complaining. I'm glad you're all
Hey.
here to participate. Anyway, we were going around with the question. Whose was it? I think it was Heistmeister's.
Yeah, if we're going rotation, it's Meisters again.
Yeah, sorry. I don't mean for us to keep getting derailed.
I
Okay,
feel
who-
like. May I?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you. I feel like I'm having the odd questions this evening. Mine is again about the planet designer
Mm-hmm.
or the world generation in general.
Yes.
I would like to see what do you think of an ability to decrease or entirely turn off the underwater fog or murkiness, whatever you want to call it.
Ooh,
Yes.
I like that. Yes.
Or at least
So that-
turn it down.
So that
Yes,
there would
where
be
you
a
have like some way to
possibility-
modify it, at least.
so that there would be a possibility to have, well, for example, an entire campaign just focused on submarine battles
Mm-hmm.
that takes place underwater.
if
Yeah,
we
a
were
toggle
talking
for
about
fog
land
would be nice.
and water, I would like to have.
I mean, even if it was like something in the options that you can click on and off, I mean, we can already, to a limited extent, control the weather and waves in there.
Exactly. Doesn't have to be mandatory, just an option.
Yeah.
Is anyone else looking
Exactly.
at Spud Cubs?
I'm sorry, it's just too funny to me.
That's been there for like the last minute. That's been there like for the last minute.
Yeah. Hey, I've done some weird things with him too. Heitzmeister has seen this in person, so yeah.
That sounds dirty. Don't
It
tell
was.
Me. I might get
It
banned
was.
on Twitch.
It was very dirty. I'll tell you about it later. Anyway.
Yeah,
I've
moving
been
along,
staring at
please.
Did he ever tell you what the one
Please
time
do.
I made a strip club in the Singularity?
Moving along, please.
All right, it should be
All
a
right,
nice
all right,
game.
all right, guys. It's Ion's turn. So let's let him
Is
speak, folks.
somebody missing my Singularity strip club?
Yeah, I updated it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey, Talon, you have your mic turned on. Hey, well done with that, by the way.
Okay.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Anyone have any questions?
I'm wondering if I should go with my question or if I should bring up Razul's question. I said told Razul I was add it to my list, so I'll go with his question then, rather than mine. I can already tell it's going to be a bit of a polarizing one because I've literally been watching the typing up voice channel going on about how crams are too powerful. Now,
Yeah.
and that's an
I
exact
saw that.
counterpoint to Razul's question, which is Razul asks, how do you guys consider the balance of cram versus APS? IMO, cram is currently obsolete since APS can do everything cram can, just cheaper, easier, and smaller. And then ever since that came up, basically my stream chat has been talking about how generally been talking about how cram is not as good as APS, or it's just that they don't have much use for cram weapons in general, which, as I said, is actually directly opposite to what's been going on in the talking at chat channel on the Discord.
I personally feel that cram is more of a specialized weapon, whereas APS is more like a jack of all trades myself. But
I just use cram for fun.
I like cram for like heavy ordnance style attacks.
Yeah,
Like
but
they can do a lot more explosive
and
damage.
cram bombers can be scary too. Let's not forget
Oh
that.
Yeah.
If they hit, that is.
Yeah, though they can have like time fuses to make sure
Time
they go
fuses, yeah, that would be what I would use
Oh.
to try to fix that
We all
issue
have
if I
one
was
now.
having. Yes, I saw that.
These hands. Oh, these
Oh.
hands.
Yeah,
Oh, these hands.
I've just noticed.
Bro, my hands are like.
Ion, do you feel like that's been thoroughly discussed for you, or do you have other points you'd like to make?
I'm well, as I said, it wasn't my question; it was Razul's question. I'm not, but the immediate response we've all kind of had, isn't it? It's like crams are more situational,
Yes,
but they can still be quite useful.
yes, that's kind of what I feel.
Do you want what would have been my second question, or shall we move on to Spud Cups?
Well, actually, on the topic of crams, I think they're a relic of the past of FTD prior, and they weren't removed due to it would break 99.9% of the crafts at the time. I think there should be one cannon system. This might be an extreme opinion in the FTD community. I think there should be one cannon system, and if Rhea's putting in Rhea guns into the game, we should either keep it separate from the main game or move completely to Rhea guns as an upgrade to APS and remove cram completely from the game.
Rare guns isn't planned to be an upgrade to APS.
I know, but I'm saying there needs to be one cannon system, not three that are completely different in complexity.
I kind of disagree. Yeah, I feel like there shouldn't be 20 different cannon systems, but one system gets still very fast.
For those that do not know, the voice that was just speaking is Elongated Muskrat, who has joined the voice chats. Just thought I'd mention that.
Do we add a statue for him?
Well, I kept it
We might
limited to
have to
4
at this
people on purpose because From the Depths gets a little wonky after 4 people. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not playing From the Depths right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a lot more people speaking than 4.
Yeah, this has grown like
steadily
crazy.
growing.
I'm kind of surprised and delighted by the outcome, to be honest. Ion, I guess did you have the question that you wanted to pose to the group, or do we want to move on to Spud Cubs, or what would you like to do, sir?
I had one, but as I said, in the interest of time and fairness, I'm willing to let the question from Razul count as mine if we want to move it along to Spud. So that's up to you guys.
Spud, what do you say?
Oh, I'm gonna search my chat for a question. Doesn't look like anyone has one, so I'm gonna ask: do you guys play any of the other custom planets that are built into the game, or story missions, etc.?
Sometimes.
Ashes of the Empire.
Ashes of the Empire. I've done that up until my file bugged out. Yeah.
I tried Ashes and Gala.
I took out all the Deepwater Guard and all the Onyx Watch with one plane.
Nice.
Yeah, I played the Onyx Watch campaign and the Twin Guard campaign, actually.
I think at one point I'd like to try doing Glau.
Did you make it through the Twin Guard campaign, though?
No, it seems to be bugged. At the time, you have to. Well, the objective is to capture one of the AIs, and when I captured it, it showed the failure screen for me, since it considered the AI, the construct destroyed, and then.
Oof.
Well.
Oh, okay then. Still, fighting the Twin Guard is probably one of the worst things in game, just because of the sheer amount of repair spam. I mean, I'm not sure if it's changed.
It was. Let's just say my patience has run out a few times.
Especially if you're trying to play on Godly, because some of the Twin Guard designs are just incredibly powerful. I mean, the Titan.
I don't know
is
about
definitely-
powerful. It's just they're stupidly hard to kill because, like you said, because the repair factor.
Yeah, I mean, that's mostly what I meant. I mean, if you can get rid of their ability to repair, if you could somehow do that, Twin Guard would be a lot more
I
fun
mean,
to deal with. But
not to be a realism nut about it or anything, but if you made it so that you can only store a reasonable amount of materials in a material crate, then like make it very expensive to ship materials. Essentially, you know, you're having to have a lot of material crates for a smaller amount of materials. It would make it harder for repair bots to just be a difficulty scaler.
I just don't
Well,
think that would stop anyone.
consider also
People
that
just
Do what
build
now?
big ships. People just build bigger ships.
the main
Yeah, like
Yeah, that's the point. It would cost more.
Well, not necessarily cost more. The ships would just be bigger. I mean, you can still
Yeah,
spam
Being
repair
bigger would
bots.
cost more.
no, at one point, ships start to cost more in base cost, but you're not going to lose your ship eventually.
Then maybe we
Yeah,
should
like-
have a some sort of an upkeep cost for the size
Yeah,
of ships, but
I prefer
think maybe-
volume limiter.
no, but
Yeah,
a natural way, like making fuel more expensive or ammo. But if you make it so that ammo is more expensive, and what we were talking about like an hour ago about ammo processing, if you were to do that, then non-combatants like supply ships would still be able to be really, really, really big with little upkeep costs because they don't use ammo. They just need fuel.
well, the amount of storage a storage container currently takes is idiotic high.
Yeah.
You can have a
yeah.
slider, you can change how
And
much.
another thing that would be nice to avoid, basically 500-meter long
Mhm.
ships that don't die have massive cannons that fire at stupid high RPM, is make things less efficient the larger they get.
No, I think just the ammo,
There is
removing
a-
ammo regen would solve that,
Yeah,
actually.
because
Ammo
ships
regen is
fire
already
just so
worthless.
fast.
Yes.
If
You
you had to
would-
produce ammo to keep up with that
Yeah.
you would just not be able to supply a big ship.
My
for large.
8 cannon,
I'm sorry.
That's- one of my guns already uses 10,000
Okay.
ammo a minute, and that fires at 100 RPM. And that's not really enough. Like ammo upkeep, even with about 1,000 ammo boxes, isn't enough.
Sorry to kind of interrupt on a tangent. Gladian's in my chat and saying poor mannequins are being abused.
I said in my chat that
That's
well,
not
someone asked
Glad.
what they walked in on. I said it's from the depths trying to be a horror game.
Yeah. No, we should have that as a game mode on this Halloween. We should have the mannequins just up here behind you.
That's not a
You mean
bad
Weeping,
idea.
Weeping Angel style, you mean?
Oh yeah. There should be like a horror survival game where you're on an island and you have to make a ship to get out of there, but there's just
Weeping
you can't look
Hectors.
away.
There's mannequins following you with
Yeah.
Oh,
Just get
like
close.
tactical
One
nuke
have I
strapped to their
said.
backs.
It's
What
like
have I said?
SCP.
Oh.
Just
Anyway.
173, but Hector edition.
Yeah.
Well, Split Cubs, if you feel like your question's been explored well enough, we'll move on to Brick's question.
Did I say a question?
I thought you did.
No, we're just asking if you do, if you have one.
Yeah, I basically have no idea what's going about.
What do you guys think about fuel-based weaponry?
No.
Flamethrowers.
Yeah.
Although they would be a lag fest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
well, that would.
Well, maybe it's because I've just been playing shortest trip to Earth, and recorded like 4 hours of that yesterday. But it's like, what about something like a fuel explosive? It's like you pack a load of explosive fuel into the missile and then lob that at the opponent.
A thermobaric bomb?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Could be.
Barrel
Yeah.
warhead.
Might be an alternative.
Like a
version.
Moab?
Could be.
Wow, you know what? My brain is like launching into this branching things. All right,
What
go
if?
ahead.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of new things, and every time I write something down, a new thing pops up. So what I got so far is from flamethrowers, I thought of, well, what about rockets? Not in the sense of like a weapon rocket, but of like a, not like steam jets or anything like that, but a like a solid rocket that costs a lot of materials, but it's
Custom
finite
jets?
and just runs out, and then you can like get to space. I don't know.
Solid
No.
rocket booster.
Or like be really fast and put it on a nuke so that it
You
just
can-
like hits real hard.
You can
Oh
already
yeah,
do
a
that with
solid
custom
rocket
jet
component
engines.
for missiles would be nice.
Yeah, like I mean,
We basically got that in the form of the short-range thruster because that's a limited burn component.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's
thing is,
But on the topic, I thought of also simple missiles. I know we have a new grenade launcher in the simple weapons, but I'm thinking of like if the simple weapons are there for newer players to just be able to play the game with a simple weapon, easy to understand, just put it down. Why not have missiles where you have the entire missile system basically in 2 or 3 blocks, but it's kind of weak and short ranged?
We had that.
We had that?
We had simple missiles. They were horrible. Then
Yeah, we
removed
did.
because
Yeah,
they didn't
Yeah,
work.
that was a long ass time ago.
I didn't
I
even
loved
play
my
the
simple
game
weapons.
back then.
Well,
Yeah.
they were
Fun,
simple
but they
homing
did
missiles
nothing.
actually, but yeah.
They were
and
garbage
then
though, I think.
The last tangent on my little notebook web here is a long time ago I had this rework idea for player weapons. Oh my god, lovely little barrel. Can you make me one too, please?
Yes.
Thank you. So new player weapons fitting into the world of FTD, because as you guys know, the pistol and SMG and even the minigun are very underwhelming. Especially in the later games when you have to hack into heavy armor AIs.
So basically,
can I offer an alternate tangent? Actually,
okay.
Well,
so basically, what
yes,
you're saying.
but could I finish this little bit? So new player weapons fitting into the world of From the Depths, as in getting like a naval rifle, a handheld naval rifle, or upgrading into a rail gun, upgrading a shotgun into like an automatic shotgun into like the minigun, having new melee weapons such as like planet explosives and things like that, just to make it like a tree of different things you could do, more like a From the Depths RPG, like we were talking about the skills earlier, but more in like the sense of take vehicle weapons and turn them into player weapons. Like homing missiles. Like make a rocket launcher
That's
you can
interesting.
lock on with.
that
That'd
was
be
literally
great.
what I was about to say, basically.
I love you. Can I say that? I love you.
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
Well,
so basically,
I'm actually gonna put something in the FTD chat, I guess. In general, it's I guess it'd be a screenshot of something. Go ahead and talk. I can do this on.
yeah. Okay, so
yeah.
basically, 400mm APS cannon. That's direct stats for Rambot.
That would be glorious. I would love it.
Yeah, with actual recoil, so you would fly back at like 50 meters a second. When you fire it.
Am I gonna get that beer that I was asking for earlier?
Do you guys know in the game Star Made how you can fire a minigun at the ground and you go flying?
Really?
Can we do that in FTD?
You mean fly backwards from like the recoil?
Yeah,
Just
recoil mechanics. Here, let me send this this
Thing
image.
is, if the Rambot stands on top of an explosion and you have your character set to immortal, then you won't die. You'll just go flying. So they already have like a system in place for physics.
Oh yeah, that would be something that would be nice for creative mode, like an immortal thing for like a Rambot.
Wait, no, that's
Isn't that
already
added?
Is it?
Yeah, it's added.
Just
Oh, okay.
rocket jumps for Rambot.
Excuse me.
Uh,
So in chat, in the From the Depths chat, I put a little diagram I made like years ago when I made the Spud mod. I know some of you played that at some point.
Fun times.
Around the time I was thinking about PvP a lot, and I was thinking about this, and as it being like every horizontal row would be one like tree that you specialize into, or like put points into, like say you put 2 points into kinetic and like 3 points into explosive, you'd have like a burst rifle and a IR seeking missile launcher or something like that, you know?
Interesting.
Spud Cubs. Would
Yes,
you
sir.
would you mind throwing that up onto one of the holographic blocks in the stream?
That's not a bad idea.
Absolutely, that would be awesome. I'll throw it up like a whiteboard in the background or something.
Yeah, since I didn't think I had to have my stream prep to actually let me show that on the stream, and I think that we might want to show that for those of us that are actually
Here,
broadcasting and recording this.
Where should I put this actually? Because you know what? Don't worry about me. I'll figure it out.
Okay. So we good to move on to Brick then?
Yeah, I have a simple request. Make graphics in a way that if you want something to be light, like
that's backwards. All right.
well,
Sorry.
how to say it? I don't want to be everything so reflective. I cannot see a shit because of everything is being so reflective, and if it's not reflective, it's so dark. Like,
Okay.
could it be changed how it was back then?
You can modify that though in the options, can you not?
Yeah, I was dealing with it so many times, and I haven't got interesting results. Everything or got so dark, or it was still reflect in an annoying way. Like, I wish there will be less of reflections. Just that. Nothing else.
Okay. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people in this room who probably had to make a few changes to the graphics things when the graphic update happened, I'm sure.
I mean, graphic updates
It was a really nice
basically
thing to have
change the
graphics
entirety of the graphic system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So as you can see, man, this is a little
Perfect.
Can you guys see when I put? Oh Jesus! I forgot L was the button. I put on the flashlight.
Ah!
I turned my flashlight on, and it did a little more than light up the scene.
When the nukes go off, that means end of.
It's all gone. It's all gone. What did they do? No!
They blew it up!
I'm actually stuck in a block. I can't believe this. I've become one with the debris.
Hey, at least FTD didn't crash.
I know, right?
There is that, yeah.
Well,
why is there a mannequin next to me?
Oh. Hector was the first to be repaired. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is creepier than it should be.
I think we know who set the nuke off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I should have told people what button set the nuke off, but I
no,
I kind of wanted to leave it as a surprise. Surprise!
I was gonna say, can you guys my flashlight? Jesus Christ.
Well done.
That was glorious.
Wasn't it though? Anyway, I'm gonna go try to find my seat, but I'm sorry.
Yours is the one with the purple mannequin.
I saw.
For you.
So where did we leave off before things went to?
When did we get mugs?
Nuclear.
Oh, that was me. I just
So-
gave us all a beer.
Can you see my flashlight on that?
No.
Where were we at? Whose turn was it?
I think I was going to explain this chart here. Is why we put it up here.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. That was what you were about to do before we found the nuclear button.
The make it hot button.
It was to emphasize the points. I think.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like this. I didn't know they did this. You can hide the projector block.
Ooh.
I love that.
Oh, really?
Love that. I love it. That's amazing.
Cool.
Can you hide the poster blocks now, please? Because that'd be even. Oh, they made it smaller. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Sorry, I'm
I can
excited.
tell you're bouncing around the room.
Okay, so the idea here is we have 4 trees. Yes, the unnatural kind. So we have 4 trees so far, mid, close, and too close. That's just kind of like my way of thinking about it when I wrote this, to kind of have players specialize if they want to, like, it's kind of like a way to, like, class players, I guess it were.
Yeah.
And you can, like, multi-class. But the far is like kinetic. You have your basic SMG, and my idea is the basic weapon is all players have the level 1 like basic weapon, so you always have an SMG, grenade launcher, shotgun, and like a little EMP burst to like kill AIs. And then like second level of kinetic would be like you get, or not like a second level directly. There's 2 different upgrades I was thinking, like an overclock and a targeting aid. Right, and you spend points to get one or the other on said ammo type, say kinetic, and if you get both, you unlock a better weapon type. But the main idea is you don't keep the SMG. The SMG turns into the burst rifle or the anti-material rifle or the semi-auto anti-material rifle, etc.
Okay.
That's more structured than my idea. I'll give you that one.
And then on the corner here, I have little utilities that would come with each specialization. So if you max out one, you get like infrared, like you can see like the AI see like infrared, so you can see like hot glows, or like handheld laser designator, so you can designate your fleet's missiles by hand. It'd be like amazing to do for like co-op. Designate a player to like do an airdrop of a guided bomb. Or I was thinking a grapple hook to just get in close, and then for like the energy weapon style, since it's like high tech, I would be like a mini ram drone that you can like a little helicopter to pilot through the air. If you've ever played Battlefield 4 and had the Accipiter drone, kind of
Grappling hooks. That's one
Yes.
thing I miss in FTD.
Wait, there was a grappling hook?
There was a simple weapon hook that was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Oh, yeah, I
a
remember
simple
that.
harpoon.
And it had a max range to it, so you can actually put it on the bottom of helicopters and tow ships because it would like stop at a certain range.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Excuse me.
Bless you, sir.
Thank you.
Someone in my chat is asking who gave Spud sugar.
That's funny. I actually haven't eaten anything all day, which is
Me
probably
neither.
why I sound insane.
No, I think they asked that when you were bouncing all over the room in excitement.
Oh yeah, no, I get excited when actual things are being done in FTD.
He's passionate.
Yeah.
I like
Nothing
the
wrong
game.
with that.
A little too
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Well, this is FTD Alcoholics Anonymous, so.
I think I'm gonna save this starting fortress here because
Yeah, I
I
mean,
like this.
Yeah,
I
I already
like
done
this
it
one, yeah.
myself. Yeah.
We
I
should
saved
do
my
this
own
more
copy.
often, honestly.
This
Just a
is
little
actually been a lot
podcast.
of fun. I've been enjoying myself. How about the rest of you guys?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
8 out of 10. 9 out of 10 if I made breakfast. 10 out of 10 if I had coffee.
Can
we actually? Do you guys mind if we maybe take a segment to if we need to take breaks, but maybe take some questions from Discord chat openly. And
Yeah, I was
from
gonna say
Twitch
I
chats?
need a bit of a bathroom break if you guys don't mind me taking like 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Excuse me. Anyone in my Twitch chat, please feel free to leave any.
Okay, I'll be right
questions.
back,
I'll
guys.
ask them when I get back as well.
Yeah, same to the guys in my stream chat. If you guys want to throw a question at us, go ahead. Yeah, but we'll try and pick something that will divide us all and make us all kick each other screaming into the abyss or something. I don't know.
I probably would address my stream chat right about now if I had one. So.
Why do we have a tower made of electric engines? Oh, and there's a sign on top saying "made you look." Yes, you did. What the heck?
It worked.
It did.
You fell for it.
Honestly, though, if we do this again, I think we do need to kind of organize it a little bit better.
Excuse me. Emergency interruption.
Emergency interruption?
Yes.
Yes, Gladian, if you're here listening, mannequins, put a URL tab like the poster holders so that we can insert face textures. This needs to occur. That is all. I will be back.
Oh,
I
dear.
can only guess where this is going.
Well, I just found the sign next to the big newt that says "hug me."
Nice.
Why is there something phallic on the side of the fortress? Just wondering.
No.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
I had a lot of fun with those nukes recently.
Just a little bit.
Did I miss much?
No, not just that recently. Like a few minutes ago. I mean, a few days ago.
All you missed was the was Spuds coming back asking that a URL be well, your URL needs to be put into the mannequin so that people can give them custom faces.
Oh, okay.
Which I'm sure is going to have horrifying results.
Yeah, probably. I could think of at least several things I'd like to put on there, just right off the top of my head, that used to be like Chuck site memes.
Actually, while Spud's gone, may I hijack this a moment?
Okay.
Since we're not officially going, since we're not official right now, which I'm thinking like I'd mentioned my old idea for like customizing the characters' weapons and capabilities, which would be like it'd be like building a small ship kind of thing. So it's the same build system, but you build yourself an enhanced claw and the backpack, and that's your character's weapon loadout.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what, as I said, Spud Cubs 1 is a bit more structured than that. So, yeah, I would have kicked myself if I hadn't mentioned it at some point since
Okay.
we wandered onto that topic.
Did Brick get a chance to do his question, or I forgot?
Yeah, I had an
Okay.
simple, yeah.
Spud is asking if we could restart the lobby. He is getting
Okay.
lag, apparently.
Yeah, we can do that real quick. Hold on, Spud.
Yeah.
I just need to save the wonderful fortress.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead.
We probably should all save it in all fairness.
Oh, yeah, give me a sec. What should I save it as?
Whatever you want, I guess. But I'm going to go ahead and return it to lobby when everyone's ready.
I'm just saying, starting Fortress Round Table, I think is good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna have to switch off of Twitch and go to YouTube. I'm getting a lot of dropped frames, and I'm not actually certain why. So I might be out for 5 minutes, kind of correcting technical difficulties.
Are you still going to be in chat, or you?
I'll be here, but I haven't made my little like BRB for like hydration yet because I was like,
right.
with
Okay,
this.
okay, yeah. Do what you
But
need
I'll
to
be
do,
here.
man. Do what you need to do. Anyway, I'm going to. Should I just go ahead and restart the server then? Hello.
Well, I'm ready for you to do that.
Okay.
I am ready.
Same.
Oh, well, we actually need to wait. Is Spud still in the thing?
I believe.
I've alt F4'd my game. I would recommend you all do the same, just to clear all the memory.
He's close it out.
I don't think my game needs it.
Yeah, I gotta restart. That's probably. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, if everyone else is resetting their games, I will as well. So, anyone watching, don't mind. There's going to be a black screen for a few seconds. I just hope it doesn't break my stream. Yay.
I missed news of a party or something?
Party? Well, there's been a bit of a gathering, yeah.
Yeah, it's just spontaneously. Oh, look, there's 13 people in general chat. Surprising.
More like a general chat discussion thing going on.
Okay.
I know I'm describing it very badly though.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm now restarting the game.
Spud's hosting a bit of a talk show.
Anyone
What?
figured out a good method for controlling walker legs?
ACBs.
I'm just waiting for Steam to start responding again, because it always seems to stop responding after I close from the depths.
I know. Same thing over here. You know.
Oh, there we go. It's starting back up again. Okay. Guys watching my stream, it will be back on very soon.
Are you supposed to use ACBs for walker legs?
Use them with spin blocks.
Or use breadboard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried with the breadboard and it worked.
ACBs are fine for.
Okay.
ACBs are good to start out with when you want it to.
Lobby's back up. Again, I apologize, there, guys. The maintenance guy here had to come in and work on the smoke detector. I accidentally fried it last night. Long story. But yeah, whenever you guys are ready, just join on up.
Is there a place for a brick near the corner, under the wall?
Someone in my chat just asked, have I seen the new simple weapons?
Spud Cubs, are you still in voice chat?
I'm here, but for some reason my OBS is just dropping all of my frames now. I don't know why. I don't know what's up with that. So maybe I need a restart or something. It's just problematic because my stream's lagging like crazy. Obviously. It would be.
Okay. Do you need to restart or something? You want
Are
to
you
come
sure it's
back,
not
or?
a net issue?
Oh, so wait.
Is there like
Glane
a
is
general
not
net issue?
Gladion, it's Rhea? What? I'm confused. Rhea, get an actual stream name. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna restart my everything. I'll be right back, guys. No problem.
Okay.
Does anyone know if there's been new simple weapons? I'm confused by the question I received.
Yeah,
in
there are 6
How
of them in
recently have
total
you checked?
right now.
There have been quite a few.
Oh, I'm going to have to remake my ammo system and U guide, aren't I? Oh, damn it. Mind you, that guide is way out of date at this point.
They're all incredibly underpowered. Well, for the most part, underpowered, but they all look very nice because they're Rhea made.
I agree. They do look very nice, but yeah, I think the only one that seems viable to any degree would probably be the 3.7 centimeter.
Yeah.
That, yeah, before's
I was
decent.
having a talk in general that they figured that because they were on a turret, they didn't require as much creativity.
Put out
and
today.
I was figuring that we should remove the turret from them, but keep the small guns, because making decent-looking, somewhat damaging small guns is next to impossible.
Yeah.
And they look nice as well. But within a certain build theme, of course.
Oh, dang it. People watching my stream, don't join. I just showed them the password. Don't join. Oh no, Lauren's here.
No, I let him join.
Oh. Okay.
I figure while Spud Cubs is at, we could go ahead and let him in for a little bit. I mean, at worst case scenario, I could just restart the server. So.
Sorry.
And let's bring our round table back in.
I want to see what the new simple weapons are now.
A lot of them look really nice.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is, do they still have that glitch where they constantly drain memory after they fire?
You mean the large cannon?
Yeah, the large simple cannons. I do believe that's what was being discussed there. Yes.
Hey.
Oh, hey, Spud. Well, shoot. Now I probably need to restart the server.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So we can get Spud in.
Okay.
Well, it's time to complete.
All right. Sorry about that, guys.
At the round table.
All right. Whenever you're ready, Spud, just pop up back on in the game, and we'll reload the run table here.
All right.
I must admit, the earlier comments about anti-player defense being used with the simple weapons is making a lot more sense now.
Yeah,
I didn't know about the new ones.
I can see that working.
With players being more able to handle vehicles, it would make sense for vehicles being able to handle players. Would it be too problematic to bring back some sort of system of NPCs?
Well, it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. I mean, when I just take the mannequin, give it an SMG, and just say sit on this spot forever and call it a day. I mean,
yeah, you don't have to make it move around or anything.
No, God, no.
Yeah,
you do realize someone is going to make a ship with mannequin armor now, don't you?
I can only hope.
Well, we had an AI armor or whatever.
Mannequin armor.
Well,
we do have metal mimics.
Cram Cannon will fix that.
Well, I hope. Oh no, okay. Oh, the stream is just not agreeing with me. It's just doesn't like not dropping frames. Maybe it's just a bad day for streaming, or maybe my router's doing something funny today. But I'm
Yeah,
just
that's why I asked if
Well, it
if
is.
sure it wasn't a net problem for you.
Yeah.
Spudcubs, what time zone are you in, if you don't mind my asking?
I am Pacific Daylight.
Okay, so yeah, it's probably not even the high time of the day for you either. So okay, never mind.
Oh, he's back.
All right.
It goes in and out for some reason, or maybe someone on my network is uploading something without telling me.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe there's an update running that I don't know about.
Very well.
You can
could
use
be.
use an ammo customizer on the 3.7 gun. Really?
Yeah, that's the way you have to get it to work. Apparently.
Whoa! Who killed?
I
Oh.
tried tinkering it with it the other night, and for some reason I couldn't get the damn thing to fire. So I don't know.
Oh, right. That was a thing. I forgot that I did that. Oh, okay. Well, shall see you friends in the room.
Yeah, we might want to put a door on said room. Just
I thought all the walls had already been closed in. There is no door anymore.
Yeah, I had to like fly in there with a camera and. Anyway, Brick,
I
if
put a
you
hole
want to
in the
like
wall.
put
Is that
yourself
good
a
enough?
chair in the room somewhere, just feel free, bud. It just I originally intended to have like only 4 people because it gets a little buggy with 5. So.
I mean, we can still keep the event to 4 people. We can just open it up to public chat later on,
Well,
or like when we have our
probably.
little.
Oh, this is really cool. Actually, I'm looking at the 3.7 at the moment.
Oh, cool. Oh, is that what you're messing around with? I think. Yeah. I like the aesthetic of it. I think it needs just a little
Fucking
bit.
Hector Dab. Who made the mannequin Dab? Who did it?
Wait, the what?
Who made the mannequin Dab?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That
Search me,
which
man.
which mannequin rather?
Yes.
Which of the 100 here you mean?
Yes.
So many.
Wow, this APL shell selection user interface here should be on like all of the APS guns. It'd make it easier to also have a multi-shell system if we had like a weird browser like that can alternate, that can automatically just press a button and alternate the shells of like EMP or HE, etc.
Well, there was one thing missing from it that I would have liked is if it had like some kind of tooltip on there, let you know the maximum size shell, because I think all the shells I tried putting in there were way too big.
Oh, it does.
It did? I didn't see it.
Yes.
Well, I feel kind of like a brain jackass now.
At least the build tooltip gives you the maximum shell length.
No one ever reads the tooltip. Come on.
No one ever reads the tooltip.
Actual names, like tags or names, some kind of these things for APS customizers. I would like to see it in game.
Yes, maximum shell length 0.66.
Okay.
Is anyone here streaming on Twitch right now?
Negative.
No, I'm streaming YouTube.
Damn, I can't host anyone. Mind sending me a URL so I can send it to everyone on my chat so it's easier for them to just go to another stream right now? Because we're like, my stream's dead, so they want to like catch the news.
Okay, hold on here. I can send mine.
We never posted stream links onto the FTD Discord, did we?
Well, not.
I mean, they're all here. They all see the activity. It doesn't really matter.
True.
Okay, thank you, Rhea.
Yeah,
Rhea sent me a message. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I've been getting pinged in this chat. I didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
Okay, what is this?
Hold on.
Oh, new subscriber.
There's mine.
Thank you, Xenodreads.
Oh, someone suggested having the video blocks or some way to show the Discord or stream chats.
Oh yeah, didn't they add video blocks recently?
Right.
Indeed.
If they had a way to make it like a live feed that you could put on things, like I was suggesting a while back, I think I put this in a video or said it to Nick himself, or I can't remember, but it was to put in a Warframe-like global chat system into the game to double as a news feed instead of putting it in the back of the menus. and that way you can also clean up the in-game chat system and put it into the new user interface with tabs such as global or blueprint trading or looking to play, etc.
Just to let you know, I'm just trying something out, just in case FTD crashes.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, yeah, just don't blow us up.
And so I was thinking if there was like a block like the hologram projector, which could hook up to like a live feed like that, like I know there's the video blocks, but are they compatible with streams?
That's a very good question. Maybe it's something
I
we
feel
should test out.
experimentation might be in order.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I've never touched one of those blocks, so I don't know how to set one up.
So Rhea actually responded to me and Damadoc about the 3.7.
Mm-hmm.
The max size is 7 modules or 3 double and 1 single. You can
Okay.
assign up to 5 customizers to 1 gun.
Okay.
So 5 different shells, which is pretty cool. And it will fire them in the order shown. Customizers can be repeated. So what I suggested earlier about having alternatable shells, Rhea actually already put that as a feature in her new guns.
Okay.
All right, that's
nice.
amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So I have another question I'd like to pose to the group here. Is it my turn? Yes, no?
Someone said it works fine with YouTube.
Works fine with YouTube? Okay.
Yeah, Flying said it works directly with YouTube.
Well,
no.
Problem is, I don't even know where the video block is though, so I'm
next-
struggling to try and set one up.
My next question is a bit of a two-parter here, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Absolutely not.
My question
Well, there we go.
is, how do you guys feel about the level of complexity in From the Depths? And do you feel that the community would benefit a lot more from like official tutorials than what we currently have?
I think that the complexity can be as simple or as complex as you want it to be, but if you don't put it into perspective for a new player, it's not going to make any sense. As in, if you throw a player into a world without any teaching them or showing them what it's like, it's going to just be a random jumble of arbitrary nonsense. And
I agree.
Connecting to tutorials of like trying to show new players like a perspective of size and complexity and what you can do and what you should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Having people tell you what to do isn't, or specific examples doesn't really show you that FTD is infinite and you can make anything.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe having, I think I had suggested this before, but maybe having like simple starting vehicles in the beginning of campaign that you can very easily expand upon, but show you the basics of each kind of system on its own.
So kind of something like that rocket boat that we always start with, except make it a little bit more, give it like different, like a different type of weapon system for each, and give it like the simplest engine, simplest
Yeah, but I'm
AI,
saying,
simplest
like,
everything.
Give a variety, like a one of each kind of scenario where you have like that little rib, the little tiny rocket boat, like you said, but you also have like a tiny little plane or like a medium-sized boat with a minimal amount of weaponry on it that you can kind of, there's space to improve upon, and it'll show you how to like improve upon it by giving you
I could
simple
see that
weapons.
working. Just I don't think I would have it like in the campaign, but maybe like some kind of maybe like sandbox learning mode. I could see that being a thing.
Well, the story mode maybe, but the story mode's kind of it feels like a text adventure.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
I like text though. I like some text, but
yeah, it's
story mode
just not the same gameplay as.
It's been around a while. Story mode. It might need another pass, kind of, if that makes any sense.
But
because the game's changed since it was put in.
What point I'm trying to put across about like about it not being the same game is that, yeah, you can have it in a designer, but then does that translate well when you go into campaign? As well, does that translate well when you go into a tournament setting or into a friendly like a tower defense game? If you just teach the player how to do one thing and one thing only, and tutorial them, they're not gonna think on their own about it. Does that make sense, or am I on a weird?
Well, that's something that I have come
topic?
across in From the Depths a whole lot, is that there's always more than one way to skin a cat, for lack of a better saying. But yeah, there's an infinite number of ways to do anything in this game, and I can see what point you're trying to make here, Spud Cubs. Ion, what do you think? You've probably been playing this longer than any of us here in the room. What's your opinion?
I think a quote from the guy who invented the light bulb might be a good thing to have here. A
The
question
guy that
put to him
invented
was,
the light bulb, or the one who ripped
yeah,
it off?
yeah. Well, either or. The question is, how did it feel to fail 1,000 times? And the answer was, I didn't fail 1,000 times. I found 1,000 ways not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if it's not quite what you're expecting, then this game gives you so much flexibility to keep on going and find your own way around it. And I like that about this game. It's why I keep coming back to it.
Because there's always something new to learn.
Or something new to blow up.
Right. So
Preferably both.
Can we? Are we agreeing on a conclusion that instead of teaching exactly what to build in tutorials, give players a general idea and example so that they can just have some perspective on what they can do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Give them a really simple way to do it. Like, this is this, that is that. And then give them examples of other ways to take it further, and then let them work out what appeals to them.
What about this? So we have these disconnected story missions that try to teach you individual facets of the game, like press B to go into build mode, right? I watch just about every single FTD stream on YouTube, Twitch, every video. I'm kind of an addict in that way. And I've seen dozens of noobs go into that story mission where you just have to go into build mode and replace the blocks, and they're just staring like, what do I do? And they read the text again and they're like, I give up, fuck this game. You know, but what I'm saying is, maybe instead of making these missions teach one specific like skill in From the Depths, maybe since humans are adaptable and we try to find our own ways into it, just have the user interface show you that you can go into build mode at all times. But these missions should be focused on things like, one, like defend a fortress, or two, you're in like a fighter squad, or three, you're simply commanding the AIs of a bunch of ships, or four, you have to do a stupid escort mission, but it shows you that you can have allies in game or things that you can't control on your own.
So you're saying instead of like doing video tutorials, we should have interactive tutorials?
Yeah, it's something that should be built into the game, not something extraneous that you have to go out of your way to do. Don't make it so that only players that have to be interested in your game can play. Make it so that the game generates interest in the player.
Okay. Heismeister, what do you feel about that?
Actually, I don't know. I haven't played any of the tutorials. I have acquired the little skill I have by trial and error, to be honest. So I can't give you that much input on it. I've never really thought about it as well.
Okay, so how about the current level of complexity? How do you feel about that then?
Well, as someone who hasn't even scratched the surface of From the Depths possibilities, I'd say the game is very, very complex. It's probably hard to learn and even harder to master. But once you master a certain aspect of the game, it feels really, really rewarding, at least to me. The best thing I could compare this to would be the X series, the X Universe series. It's really hard game to learn actually, and has no tutorial whatsoever. So
No,
I
I've tinkered
think
around with it. I know what you mean.
for new players, I would love to see some tutorials.
Mhm.
Just interactive ones, that is, not just read the text, follow the instructions. Maybe let them play around a bit, figure things out, but give a sort of a guidance. But yeah, don't let them follow
Some
instructions.
tutorial systems I've seen had like this, gave you a general idea of what they wanted you to do, but then there was an extra hint button which you could press to give you specific instructions if you were struggling with something. You mean
Mhm.
maybe something like that? It's like
Yeah,
you can get
something like
get
that
more
could work.
details if you want it.
Just don't do it like well, I would compare this to instructions from IKEA how to build a furniture. I mean, that's the most direct instructions you could get.
Does anyone want a flat pack ship?
Yes, please.
Absolutely. Well, what do you guys think about chair height? Now that I'm like in first person view, staring at you all, do you think rambots should be floating a meter above the chair?
No.
No.
I think we'd be comfortable sitting down.
I think
Yeah, I think that's
Rambot's
a good idea,
always been
Jake.
floating.
I'm comfortable floating in the middle of the wooden block.
Yeah, like right now I've got a chair in a 2-block high space, and he essentially has his head sticking out the ceiling, so I have to make a hole,
Yeah.
and that's not a good thing.
Yeah.
What about if it was like a dock? Like you could select how high a character on the seat would float above it.
Did you guys know that when you're in a chair, or maybe regardless, the Rambot view is actually to the left by 0.14 meters.
I can't say I knew that. No.
If you try to put a crosshair in front of you while you're in a chair facing directly forward, it will not be aligned. You have to put it like 0.14 to the left for it to be aligned forward.
Hmm.
So it's actually offset quite a bit. If you try to look down or like directly behind you, you can kind of see the chair's not in the right kind of, you'll see it if you spin. I don't know, weird tangent. Sorry about that.
Brick, how do you feel about the question I just posed, sir?
The complexity of the game.
Yes.
Well, and the tutorials or not?
Both. Like I said, it was a two-parter.
So let's start from the tutorials. I tried to play one, and probably I don't know have I actually finished it or failed. I don't know. But I know shortly I moved to experimenting on my own and probably watching some YouTube videos as a tutorials, which can probably be faster. Like if you don't know what you're pressing, you don't know what you're doing, a video tutorial is way better in my opinion, at least for beginner.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving on to the complexity of the game, it takes quite a while to probably understand what's going on, but when you finally got it, I really love the game is complex.
Yeah.
I can only probably make a comparison to Factorial. Like the vanilla Factorial is maybe not so complex, but I like that you have to do something to figure out how to do something to make it optimized. So yeah, that's why I play this game, because it's sandbox and it's complex. There's a lot of things you can do and change by yourself. That's what I enjoy.
Okay. So basically, what I'm getting from the group is we are comfortable with the level of complexity, and the game is as complex as you want it to be. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes.
Yes.
That's about my input. That's why I play this. I like the complexity, but the thing is, you jump in first. You just sink or swim. It just chucks you in. Right here's an APS with 50 different bits on it. Go have fun.
Mm-hmm. That was Concraft.
Sorry.
What's the option on the mannequin to give it cat ears? What the hell?
Change the head type.
What?
It's on
Why is this
There's
a
a
thing?
head type?
Yes.
Why is this a thing? Oh, hats. Okay.
Weep audience.
Okay. This kind of okay, cool. Okay, that's kind of neat.
Sorry, I had to go look. Do we want to start with another question, or
May I say something?
yes, sir?
Like,
Go ahead.
kind of a personal matter. Just if any developers are listening, please don't let Dangerous Waters die. The campaign, I would like to see it revived.
It's already dead.
No, please don't say that.
I
It's
don't
already
know about it
dead.
being dead, but maybe like more or less in, I don't know,
It's dying, yes.
protective custody.
I'm pretty
Are you sure you don't
it's
mean life
dead.
support? Which one? One is related to dying, and one is not so much.
Yeah.
Dangerous Waters. The devs aren't planning to do more work on this. Like, there
Rhea
are
says, "Don't knock my cat ears. They were heavily demanded. I bet they
Yeah,
were."
I was about to mention that. Yes.
Okay, were you in the server when basically Nick said he was going to add ship girls?
Add what?
I feel like getting up and leaving right now. Right now.
Add what?
Okay, so basically General completely lost its shit when Hikari decided to ping at everyone in news that Nick was going to add ship girls.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I remember now.
Yeah, if we
Ship.
want you,
I'm not quite hearing. Ship girls.
Ship girls.
Oh
Like,
yeah, from that one.
You mean the figureheads?
No.
No. It's an
That's what the game
anime.
needs, though. Figureheads.
It's an anime, I believe.
Oh. Oh.
I meant to weep shit.
Oh, I think I know what you mean now.
Yeah.
Also, why am I the chef? I've just noticed what hat my
I don't know.
mannequin's wearing.
I'm the one with the
Why the
cat
heck
ears,
is-
but I have the cat, so I guess that's fitting enough for me.
Yeah, why the heck is what?
I'm a terrible cook. Why am I the chef?
I don't know. I'm still wondering why
Can
the
I
hell you're green.
put
Green's my
corn
favorite
in my
color.
tricorn?
Oh, actually, sorry. Bacon's TV is mentioned in my chat. It's not ship girls. It's just AI personalities.
Yeah, he basically said it was ship girls.
That's what AI personalities are gonna be.
Yes.
You know what I miss? You know what?
Does
You
someone
know
need
what
to change
I
their
feel?
pants?
You know what I
Nick-
feel like is even more like a heartbreak than removing Scuttlebutt? They removed air mode from them. Can you stop that, please? They removed air mode from the map, so there's no more air mode at your service.
Oh yeah, I like that.
It's just all terrain. Ugh, all terrain plebeian. Okay, my rant is done.
Okay, fair enough.
Ship girls. What are you talking about? Ship girls.
I need to be right back.
Yeah.
Shippu girlroo.
Yeah.
Waifu. .4chan.webm.gif.
I've never been there personally.
4chan? It's stay
Hold
away
on,
from
be right
4chan. Is there anything else anyone wants to bring up?
Which question were we on?
Oh hell, I don't even know now.
Yeah.
I've not got around to trying them actually. I want to have a poke at them because I've built a lot of tanks, but I've not actually had a chance to get around to it. I keep getting distracted by building other stuff when I'm on the game.
Finally
I
fixed
know,
the
right?
wheels.
Oh, Casey in my chat says, set me to all-terrain mode like one of your French AIs.
Oh yes.
Oui, oui.
Oui, indeed.
And two things I wanted to mention actually that came a while ago, but got buried in the shuffle. When we were talking about fire weapons, someone in my chat suggested fire barrels as something to throw at the enemy. And
they been playing Donkey Kong?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, and someone in actually this was in the typing at voice. I forget who it was though. I think it was Lupus. apologies if it wasn't, and I'm misremembering. I think it was Lupus, but this was a bit ago. Suggested like a fire effect on blocks like EMP. By that, I think actually it's more like you can ignite a block and set it on fire.
Well, there was a lot of talk about that a bit ago.
What's mod?
Well, like 7 months ago, and basically it will take way too much computer power to actually load all that, because FTD loads every block 40 times a second. And to actually adjust the health value, it would get very laggy very quickly.
Yeah. So if a lot of stuff was on fire, it would really get in the way. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, someone was basically, I'm going to mod in fire in a month time or something. Never heard of the person again.
What's that behind Spud Cubs?
I was wondering that myself. I just saw that appear. Like, the crap is this?
Looks like a smiley face.
It looks like some kind of robot or something. I don't know.
Oh, it's Knuckles from that one meme.
Oh, okay.
It's Uganda Knuckles.
Do you know that way?
Oh, I see the feet now.
Yeah.
I have a question for you all.
Okay.
Since we have simple weapons now, the World War II guns, how do you feel about some old-timer weapons like ballistas or catapults?
Yeah, fine. Well,
I mean,
catapults not really, but ballistas.
No. Ballistas, yeah.
Yeah, you just mentioned that in my stream chat, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Ballistas, you could get them to work, but it's going to be pretty hard to balance.
It's an interesting idea, but they'll be absolutely useless because there is nothing that sits still in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, those are things that
that's arguable.
Yeah, and catapult will just be too little range.
Well, technically, it'll be like a low velocity cannon at close range.
It's
I
mostly
was
just
more
for
thinking
cool
of-
points.
Those can work.
I was more
Or maybe
thinking
just grappling hook launchers, like simple harpoons.
Hold on.
Hey, they removed the Gears of War symbol from the minigun.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that too.
If we were to get a ballista, I would think it's of like something that would fire a cannon shell with damage of a simple of one small missile, like explosive warhead or something. Yeah, but I don't imagine it to be that useful. Don't take my word. I'm not a developer. I'm just a random person in the chat that talks a lot. I have like 50,000 messages in 8 months.
Okay. I just want to say, guys, I was thinking, no, maybe we should wrap this up in about 30 minutes or so.
Well, we're at 2.5 hours just gone, aren't we?
Yeah, it's almost 3 o'clock my time.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah. So maybe we ought to, unless anyone has any questions that they'd like to pose for the group, maybe we ought to stay taking questions from our chats. Just to wrap it up.
Is there some method of spawning land vehicles in the land designer?
Just spawn them in.
Okay.
Also, there's a designer with no volume limit if you're using that.
Oh yeah. Actually, I'd like to pose my second question, if I may.
Go for it.
I'm going to ignore the other two because I think yeah, we have been going on for a while. So yeah, the second question for me is do you think that the game would benefit from having the simplified shields suggested in the forums recently, in addition to the existing shields, rather than instead of the existing shields?
What's a
God!
What do you mean by the?
Hold on, like
the ones that aren't affected by velocity have a fixed percentage chance to deflect stuff. You know, those ones that aren't as involved, but it might be a more readily installable / understandable thing that could be of use, but aren't a replacement.
Two-parter here before I address your question initially. I think I need to address that one of the biggest unsung problems of From the Depths is bloatware from times past that makes the game more complex unnecessarily, doesn't affect gameplay in a positive way, and just makes it harder to balance the game with old systems that worked in an ancient way, such as if we kept the old oil processor fuel refineries, the 2-meter ones, which some people still do use, it kind of makes the game a little unstable.
Well, let's be honest here. I mean, how many of us here probably still have a prefab of that lurking around somewhere?
I do.
I
I use
don't.
it all the time.
I do. So
I don't. I have
I'm selling them for $20 a piece.
Oh,
A lot of the bigger workshop designs seem to have them nowadays as well.
I think if we made
old
it
blocks
like
were just removed from the game, it might just help.
I asked the question though because that was one of the things being battered around in about a patch to try and rebalance how strong the APS was on the forum, and it was like a simplified version of the shields, which I honestly was quite dismayed to see because I like the complexity of the current shield as it's affected by the nature of the weapon hitting it and the nature of the ship, the angle of it, that kind of stuff. And I wasn't too thrilled to see it be like you have a flat X percentage chance to deflect the incoming shell no matter what, you know?
Okay, I mean, I get your point, but I think that just having a bubble shield system, something like that.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
A lot better than just what we have now. I mean, the current state of shields, they're just a pain to set up.
Yes.
Honestly, a pain to use because frag for the most part can just bypass shields. Simple,
So
but,
I saw a screenshot, I think it was on the forums, of something that looked like the particle cannon loops.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I looked at it too. That was a new
that the
system.
new dynamic shields?
Yes.
Okay, I think that would be cool because then you can localize shields to certain parts of the ship as like a bubble shield, or just do your entire vehicle. And it would be easy to, if it gets damaged, it would disable your shields, and it'd be another way to kind of make the game like a cool strategic combat game.
I think I'd like to mention, by the way, I came up with that question before I heard the official whisper of bubble shields being considered. So.
I think people have been talking about bubble shields for years now because it's just the current shield system is just, it feels like a placeholder, but
yeah,
it worked first. It worked
understand.
to a degree when Crystal was there, but I only played the Deepwater Guard early game when the game was that young, so I can't really say for the later parts of the game.
Something I thought would work really good for the system of shields is basically the same system they use in the Vorion, where it like makes a bubble shield like maybe a couple of meters away from all the blocks. But I don't know if that would be too hard to implement or not. But that's the way I'd like to see a bubble shield done anyway.
Yeah, like a centralized shield core kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think the way it would be done if it were up to me would be kind of like the fuel refinery system as well. Like a very large, having to protect it. It's expensive. It weighs a lot, potentially. Or maybe like a smaller shield module. Maybe something like steam engines where there's differentiating sizes of
what does it say about me that the moment you mention a new kind of block you can tinker with and customize the layout for with Tetris, I'm immediately interested.
Yeah.
That sounds like Ion, yeah.
Because I think that's kind of the main draw from the depths is balancing efficiency and effectivity, and it's scaling with size, and that's just the most fun of building like a big battleship that does everything.
Yeah.
I think that's also part of the fun of the game too, is like making your big super battleship and just like crushing the campaign too. I mean, from the depths is what you make of it.
Mm-hmm. It's also where the reward of learning the system comes from as well. It's like you're able to customize the system to your satisfaction.
You have to keep in mind, however, that satisfaction comes from overcoming restrictions and obstacles. And so having the game world where it's letting you do so much that you don't have a challenge is kind of counterproductive to it being a fun game.
Which is one of the great things about doing Ashes of the Empire, because you had that block restriction.
Yes, I think that makes it like a you can compare it to like StarCraft and Warcraft, where you have the or any modern RTS with a supply limit to it. Because that's what it feels like. But instead of the size of your army; it's the size of your individual units.
Mm-hmm. But then again, you're the only one who puts the limit on that. I mean, you could put a personal limitation on yourself, how much volume that you want to do.
Well, I think at that point, if you're putting artificial personal limits, that's when the game's not inherently fun. That's when you have to have a player that has a strong imagination and is interested. This game does give them the platform for that, but for players that aren't actively seeking that out, this game won't appeal very much.
Well, what about this? Why not just have like a some kind of a slider that would modify experience where you're only allowed to have units of a certain size?
Well, actually, I was gonna raise this point. What is it, like 2-3 hours ago? How long have we been on this? But we were talking about player skills, and I was thinking, not exactly like limit the players in campaign, but maybe. So you know how you have like a weird progression in the campaign. You can kind of do whatever you want. What if we were talking about resetting the player skill level per instance, like per campaign? What if you put skills into bigger volume units, or to have more units per fleet, or more units altogether?
I might be able to
or
get
have
on
a
board with that.
stronger economy to support said units to make it even more natural.
Someone's putting in a ceiling
I
fan.
think that's cool. I think it would add a. Oh my god! Hello. Hello. It add a layer of choice to the player to choose a lot of units, stronger units, or bigger units. Because you can even spend those player points into just upgrading your weapon effectivity. Because that's already in the game as it is.
Okay.
I like how the room has just evolved along this.
I know. I think it's great. That's been like a pretty awesome part of this whole roundtable thing, because it's like it just kind of grown with the discussion. I love it.
It just keeps happening.
Mm-hmm.
I like what's going on. We should schedule another one of these, maybe in like 2 weeks or something.
I was thinking like a monthly kind of thing.
Monthly,
yeah,
that works better.
He's got like a spin block with a chair attached to it down there, I think. I had to take a peek at it early because I was wondering how the hell he did that myself.
Yeah, just don't press any weird buttons. You know, I'm still next to the nukes.
Actually, I think the ACB that triggers the nukes has been removed. So yeah,
I know. Just don't hit the Q when you're looking directly at the nuke accidentally.
And don't cross the streams.
Don't cross the streams.
Yes.
Actually, on that note, I want to talk about rivers. They don't exist in FTD.
That would require flowing water, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, you don't have to. Just make like a.
Technically,
maybe
we have rivers.
Don't call Arrowick River a river, or maybe just have like it encased by higher ground, so that you can kind of just use your imagination to think of it as elevated water, but it's like on the edge. It's like in between cliffs, like a canyon.
We already sort of got rivers.
The problem with this is that the entire terrain system
ages, not in meters,
is ancient.
Yeah.
The entire system is just incredibly old. It doesn't work for the most part.
If we like, I would love to rebuild the Neater map to like dev specifications, but like bigger and combining like doctrine of players who want to build on land and in air, or
well, that's
on
called
sea.
Helios.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but that's Helios. That's not the main game.
Yeah.
You know,
and,
my goal, as like all the talks I do on YouTube and being critical, I'm trying to make the main game like successful as when players start it, not exploring it for mods. Although the mods are great, and like Helios is like so much work, quality has been put into it. But it's like I struggle when I see new players or big streamers play. Hey, we're gonna play From the Depths. Oh, what is? You know.
Yeah,
this game can have that effect. Yes.
I feel like that's mostly a tutorial.
I probably spent a couple hundred hours watching tutorial videos before I actually started trying to build something, to be completely honest with you guys.
Really?
Somehow I managed to get guns to work.
I dived in. I built a wooden junk heap, And my first ever laser boat didn't actually have a functional laser, but I didn't know about it. So I launched into a fleet battle with this ship thinking, "Ooh, I'm going to light things up with my laser," and then it's like, "Oh, it doesn't work."
Rest in peace.
Yeah, that didn't go so well. Let's put it that way.
I spent like 50 hours trying to figure APS out. Something.
I remember the first time I tried to play the campaign. I tried to play an expert. I tried to play an expert campaign with, I don't know, 50 hours in the game. I got my ass kicked on the first battle.
First time I've tried campaign was with like 200 hours.
One of the most confusing things to me for like several thousand hours of gameplay, even going on Wikipedia to research and like understand it, APN guidance.
Yeah, I still
Augmented
have no
proportional navigation guidance. I understand it now, but like being a missile part and thinking, oh, this might be cool to put on, I didn't understand what it did, how to use it, what it would be good for. It didn't explain it to me very well.
Yeah, I'm just not bothering with it since I heard it has code and I
Oh,
just like coding.
it's amazing for killing maneuverable air units and for making glider bombs and in general for chasing fast things. I can explain it to you later off of this. I don't want to go up 20 minutes talking about like animals and predators and line of sight.
I've kind of quit FTD. I'm building a battleship with 24 APS cannons, and it's taking a toll on me. And with Draba's planned APS change, that would turn my battleship cannons in real guns, and I spent 5 hours on those cannons.
I mean, if you guys want, we can do one of these talks one day, but instead of like a trading opinions, we can trade like
blueprints.
You know, we're all kind of like from the depths experts to say in like a good way. Or like veterans.
Not really, no.
Yeah, veterans.
We are veterans. But we can trade FTD knowledge. Like I know you guys were saying like what is that noise? Oh God, what is that noise?
Benzo, get out, please.
Jeez. Oh Lord, what is that?
Is he messing with the chair again?
He is.
Yeah, that's why I muted him from the beginning.
Basically,
why don't we have like a server admin with the server mutes in here? Anyway,
Ria, do your job.
What was I even talking about? That sound completely threw me off course.
Yeah, we were talking about trading tips, I think.
Oh, you guys mentioned jets and like, I'm more into like the science of how vehicles work in this game, and I like seeing your guys' creative processes. And I think we can have a day of like trading information and like styles. And like for instance, I see Heismeister's recent video on his helicopters, and I'm just like looking at that like those are some tasty looking helicopters.
Doesn't that thing remind you of an Mi-21?
Wait, I can.
It reminds me of an Mi-24. I don't know what an Mi-21 really looks like.
I thought the Mi-21 was the Hind. Am I thinking of the 24?
I thought Mi-24 was the Hind.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting shit mixed up. My bad.
I'm sending a quick screenshot of.
But
my current.
At the same time, I have this pet peeve about helicopters in the game being run by jets at all. Like, there's one on the workshop right now that's a hovercraft with its AI. It has some really nice tilt rotors, I think. Or wait, no, I'm confusing two different ones. There's like a single rotor helicopter that uses hovercraft AI, but it goes back and forward, maintaining distance with jets. Which I'm like, that's cool. It looks nice and all, but I'm just like, you could do it without it, and it would be cool too.
You couldn't for the longest time, though. That's become a lot easier with the recent changes to spin blocks, which allowed them to respond the same way as jets do.
Well, you could still do it with a Dedi blade on a spin block back in the day.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, but as I said, it's a lot easier now. But I don't think people have really, in general, caught up to that yet.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna do some tutorials on it. I'm lagging behind in my work. I'm trying to put out these. Have you guys seen? I'm doing like weird, simple builds, trying to use them as examples for tutorials. But I'm lagging on it.
What's that music going on in the background?
Someone's phone's ringing.
That's coming from Yukov, whoever that.
Sorry.
It happens. Don't worry about it.
It's like a cell phone in a college lecture. It's just like, who is it?
I thought an interesting way that we could wrap this up, because we got about 10 minutes left, is each one of us here that's a part of the group, Ion, Spud Cubs, Hertzmeister, Ion Mark III, and myself, we could give one tip for from the depths and sign off.
Oh, that'd be
You
great.
mentioned me twice. Do I get 2 tips?
Did I? I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did. You said Aeon
Never
and then Aeon
use
Mark III.
particle cannons, bald men.
No, on that note, what happened to Mark II? It's just
He doesn't
We don't talk
it.
about. We don't talk about that one.
Yeah.
we don't talk about Mark II.
It was
All
quite
right.
unfortunate.
Not since the incident.
He came from a vat, so that's why it's the third one.
All right, so
I told you that in confidence, damn it.
How about we start with Heisey Boy and we go clockwise?
Okay.
Okay, so I should give one tip to From the Depths.
Mm-hmm.
So what to improve, basically? Or what do you mean by this?
What kind of gameplay tip do you have? Yeah.
For new players.
It doesn't matter. Any skill level.
Any player. Okay. Well, I would say that doesn't matter if you can build very a craft that's very efficient. It just matters that you have fun with it.
Okay.
Can I give a quick tip too?
Sure.
With APS, you have the autoloaders. There's a slit in it, especially with the belt-fed autoloader.
There's only one slit. Yeah, I noticed.
Yes, and the clip goes in there.
Yes.
I spent 10 hours trying to figure out how a clip goes into a belt-fed autoloader, and I finally figured it out.
Awesome. Thank you for that, sir.
That tip came from elongated muskrats, by the way.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, I'm just getting the joke in that name now, and it hurts.
Yeah. Ion, do you have a tip for the group, sir?
I was going to say what Hertz said in a lot more long-winded fashion. So, can I go last? I need to think of something else to say.
Okay.
That
Okay.
might be
We'll come back to you, Spud Cups.
Oh, a tip for players in general?
Yes.
Hold on, Lauren. Can you teleport to the top of the fortress? I'm trying to take a cool screenshot. But
Sure.
a tip for
Great tip.
any player is if you're looking for tutorials or you're looking for a way to find out how to do something, the best way is to get something that you know works or something that you like and reverse engineer it. Just take it apart and remove parts to find out what does what.
I agree completely. That is an excellent way to learn. Brick, do you want to add something? Do you have a tip?
Well, I'll think about it. Go on right now.
Okay, so we've
had 2 skips so far.
Okay, I guess I'll do mine. How many of you are all aware of the new ammo blocks? The 2 cubic meter and the 4 cubic meter.
Yes, I know where this is going.
Yeah, this is something I've been trying to make sure that everyone knows because it has been super helpful with my builds.
Wait. This is a headache. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was going to spawn one on the table just to show, but this is frustrating. I click ammo storage and it opens the ammo storage submenu, but I have to click on the ammo parts box to open another submenu to see them.
Anyway, what I was going to say... What I was going to say is, with these part boxes, if you use the 2 or the 4 meter ones, they will not blow through metal beams at all. So, unlike with the normal 1x1 ammo boxes, where you had to use heavy armor, and that would be the only thing that could stop it. With the larger boxes, you can get away with using metal beams.
Okay, is that a feature or a bug?
I'm hoping it's a feature, because I'd hate to see this change because a lot of my stuff is a lot more lightly armored than it used to be.
Well, if that's a feature, I really disagree because I think that really does a lot of disservice to ammo in general.
I'm pretty sure that's a bug.
I hope it is.
Anyway,
'Cause
it's
if
just
there's one
something
ammo
I
type
thought
that
people
doesn't
would like to know
explode and
about.
one ammo type that explodes, it's kind of unfair.
Well, I think what happens is me and Heitzmeister discussed this at length a while back, and you have like one concentrated explosion versus a bunch of smaller ones that like. Yeah. Thank you, Ria. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I just wouldn't ruin the whole damn thing. Anyway.
Yeah.
Ria
What?
just sent me a message saying the what was it Ria said? Son of a bitch. I can't find it now.
Who's planted the
Ria.
Oh no.
Oh,
Ria
no.
said she'll increase the damage.
Yeah,
Can I
yeah,
get a read from the Discord? Can I get a read?
Well done, Dama.
yeah.
Thank you, Raya.
Our fun has been ruined.
Anyway, yeah, that was my tip, and then I went and ruined the whole damn thing.
Oh,
I
before we wrap
apologize
this-
immensely.
Has Aeon given his tip yet?
Yes.
No, he's still thinking about it.
Oh wait.
Okay. Are you still thinking about it, bro?
You can go and say whatever you're thinking
Okay.
of now. Go ahead.
I just want to mention. Oh my God! No, I need to remember this. It's so important. Campaign vehicles, battle sizes. Something I want to like personally touch on. Like, okay, I have big idea guy about like campaign reworking, right?
Mhm.
I want to help.
Yep.
I want to fix it, right? I want to make it playable for all like this whole spectrum of gamers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But I was thinking, instead of having like easy, medium, hard, and you just assign like one unit to a battle point, and then that's it. It doesn't appear in the other difficulties. How about easy mode? This X unit has 50 battle points, so it takes up like most of the fleet, right? It becomes a capital ship, right? But if you go into a harder difficulty, it becomes one of the more common units, so it takes up less battle points, to the point where you go on the godly difficulties and medium designs only take up one battle point. So in the 200 battle point areas, you could potentially have a swarm fleet of 200 ships coming at you, or 200 aircraft.
Yes. Others.
I just want to say yes, absolutely. This.
Was it for new players?
Yeah.
I mean that you see some of the easier designs when playing godly, but just more of them. If
Yeah,
they
it helps
actually appear.
simplify like the frequency of easy
I think
to
a lot of
medium
people
designs
have
and higher
that problem.
difficulties.
Yeah, they want to see more variation of designs.
I usually play on expert because when I play on godly, I only see mores and bulwarks and etc. I don't see any of the fleets that I'd like to see, like the godlies being the capital ships of the fleets and leading a group. That's what I want to see, because the battle point system, if you don't already know, is built to have like an 80-point unit can't be in a 150-point fleet twice, because it takes up more than half. And it's supposed to have subunits to it. That's how it's kind of built, but it doesn't. It does. Obviously, from experience, it doesn't feel like that.
Okay.
In general, what I have thought about some tips is if you're building something, like testing it, and it doesn't work the way you want, actually sometimes it's better to step off and rebuild the whole thing from scratch than trying to update it over and over, because sometimes it might not work.
Yeah, that's a good way to keep yourself from going crazy.
And also just plan ahead instead of build. Sometimes building just spontaneously is okay, but for most time, plan ahead can keep that. Yeah, that's really good.
Okay. Do we want to still come back to you, bud?
Yeah, I've actually got something now.
Okay, shoot.
I also sort of something going way back to the section of like stuff you want in the game. It's a really small, really quick thing though. So may I add it really quickly?
Sure.
Something I would like to see in the game is a way to disconnect the steam propellers from the main engine power of the ship. Just so that I could have steam propellers running without demands from the rest of the ship actually draining away power from that steam system in question.
I like that.
Could be just like an alternate gearbox which lets the steam system run, but doesn't actually give power to the rest of the ship. I'd be fine with that. but just something that will allow the steam propellers to be independent of the main ship's power state.
May I make a comment on that?
Of course.
Okay.
We mentioned earlier how there's redundant systems in the game that seem like they need to be deleted, or like
Okay.
they're just unused. But
It could be
I want to raise.
Yep.
I want to raise a point that it seems like 3 different games are being developed sometimes with how different the systems are, and with old FTD being reliant on you have like 3 different styles of powering. You have your electric engine, your fuel engine, you have your steam engine. But then you start developing like steam propellers, steam-specific things, steam jets, for instance. And it's kind of like, is this really how it was supposed to be in the beginning? You know
steam jets?
No, like anything that's specific to one single power source. Since we don't really have anything specific to the other ones, it seems kind of weird that steam is being focused on like that, since it is the mechanically realistic.
That's because Steam is terrible right now. It's
I know, but it's like it's
I really like it.
better to
yeah, but
to
Steam is
offset the game more.
Right now, Steam is terrible efficiency-wise. So
I think that's a good thing because it creates a lot of power.
Well, it is the worst Steam engine. No, the best Steam engine possible is 21 times more inefficient than the worst fuel engine.
Sounds like I need to revisit my maths.
Yeah.
The last time I heard about fuel engines and steam engines, people were preaching to me that, oh, the fuel engines are better than steam engines in every way. I'm sorry, the other way. People were telling me that steam engines were more efficient and effective than fuel engines in every way.
Well, it really depends. It depends on how you get your fuel. If you use
your refinery system.
If you buy fuel, steam is more efficient than injectors. But if you have a semi-decent refinery, let's say 300 to 400 fuel per met,
I think more things
more efficient.
I think more things in the game should follow that system, that train of thought of efficiency over effectivity and scaling with size, like fuel refineries and the engine systems. Things like the ammunition and the shield systems need to be updated to meet more of that kind of efficiency over versus effectivity. And on a second note, I think this is relevant to what we're saying. Based on what we just said about like immediate game balance and resources over the course of this stream, going back to Nick and his fleet commendations and being able to purchase, let's say, fuel and ammo on the fly or taunt enemies into war, that's a little bit like the Mountain Blade renown system. You kind of have a better chance at everything, and we can just pile that into luck as well, or another skill point, or just not do it altogether, because I think purchasing things in the middle of a battle is just bad. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth. And if you want reinforcements, you do it naturally by making like localized instances of battle, and so like you can pull in reinforcements in real time because the fleets would still be moving outside of that instance.
Agreed on this. Make it.
I'd like to add something quickly from Raz. Raz asks, why can't I plug in a propeller to the axis of a regular fuel engine?
Yeah,
like how steam props are used with the steam.
That's what I'm saying. It's either or. It's either we make fuel engine propellers, or we make them all disconnected, because it just confuses everyone.
Okay.
Sorry, that simple little request, I seem to have thoroughly derailed things again. I apologize.
No, I agree with Rizal, but we probably need to start wrapping this up, gentlemen.
Yeah, what's our time check right now?
We're like 2 minutes past.
Is it Damadoc or Damadoc?
You can call me Dama.
Is Damadoc?
Yes.
It's meant to be, but everyone just calls him Damadoc.
Yeah, you can call me Dama. That's completely fine.
We also have a cigar, apparently.
If you ever join my Discord server, there's so many different puns we can make with your name.
I look forward to it.
Nick joined my server the other day. We just call him NICC. You know, Nick. Hey, is somebody smoking here?
I'm just having fun with mimics.
I absolutely love this. This is so cool. Can you just continue? I'm so entertained watching it. I really am.
You are very amused.
Oh,
I'm happy. It's a very rare thing for me to be in a state of, but I am happy today. So I'm taking advantage of it.
I feel like my nickname is perfect for your server then.
Yeah,
we can do so much.
this was like a ton of fun, guys. I hope this is something we could do like on at least a monthly basis.
I'm sorry for you guys having to go through chemotherapy just talking to me.
Should I give my tip now?
Yes, go ahead, Ian.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, as I said, we got thoroughly sidetracked.
Yeah.
Okay. I
New dimension of
suppose
sidetracking.
since I can't talk about what it means to have a good vehicle, since Hertzmeister already touched on that with his thing, that's why I had to stop and think for a while. My tip would be: don't be afraid to go back to a system and keep tinkering with it.
I agree.
Because you don't know if you'll find something which just suddenly clicks and makes sense to you, or something that works in a way that you like better than your previous understanding about it. I mean, start of this year, Dama Doc, Dama, I'll just stick to Dama, honestly, decided out of the blue that I am an expert at making offensive railguns. To this point, though, before like 4 or 5 months ago, I touched railguns like maybe 2 or 3 times in the entire 5 years I've been playing this game, and I never made a good one. It's just like the start of this year, I revisited it, and suddenly it clicked, and I was making really effective ones, and it's like, oh.
On that note, I know we talked earlier about like doing this again, but with like a trade of ideas or like game knowledge. But before we wrap this up and I'll go, because I kind of have to go right now as well. I just want to openly invite all of you, as in like everyone in the server, as well as anyone in the From the Depths Discord, and anyone who sees this, I guess everyone in general. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to help, especially you guys like in game. To like, if you have any questions about certain vehicles that you might think my knowledge would be helpful on, or if they do change the ammo to like a refinery system, I would 100% want to like do a group campaign, because I would be like right back into FTD if they ever did that.
Awesome.
So on that, I think I'm gonna wrap up and leave here. Sorry if we're cutting it short, but I need.
Yeah, you've been great.
It's a good time for it. It's a good time.
We really appreciate you being here, Spud Cubs.
Yeah, it was a great talk. Love being here, guys, and you all have a great day.
Yeah, take care, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, anytime.
And with that, unless anyone has anything else that they'd like to add, I'd like to start signing off.
There is one thing I would. Well, don't worry. This is not me stealing the stream again.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Already. I would have preferred to mention this before Spud Cubs had to go, but I follow the old rules of Total Biscuits. Does anyone have any plugs or channel links they wish to share so that people can find us in other places if they so choose?
Oh,
TB always did that, and I think in a gathering like this, it would be a good idea.
You're probably onto something, Ion. But yeah, me and Ion, we do a streams of 7 Days to Die on Fridays. So yeah, come watch that. It usually ends up being a lot of fun, and
we also both do streams of From the Depths every so often as well. You don't forget to mention that, since we're on From the Depths.
Yeah, we've done a couple of co-ops too, as I recall. So yeah. Hertzmeister.
And where can they find you, Dama?
Where can you find me? I have a Discord. I believe there is a link to it on the actual Discord server. And also, you can find me on YouTube. I think that's it for the moment, though. Hertzmeister, anything you'd like to say, sir?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just mentioned, I guess, at the start of this that I do have a YouTube channel, though it's all in German, unfortunately.
But it's wunderbar, no?
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just look for the From the Depths videos that have a German title. Those should be mine, I guess. The name is the same as here in Discord. I could post my YouTube link in on stream, if I may.
Of course. Go ahead. I mean, I did have a viewer asking about your channel earlier, after all.
Maybe one of his German-speaking subscribers or followers. I don't know.
I suspect so.
I know you
they
got a
both spoke
few.
English to me. Yeah. Curse of being in the European time zone, I suppose.
There it is. Thank you.
All right. I guess I'll start signing off here. This has been. I'm sorry, Ion. Were you wanting to say something?
I've not told them where to find me yet.
Oh,
I
I'm
keep getting
sorry.
left
I'm
out.
so sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, my bad.
Oh, no,
I feel terrible.
That's all right. It just seems to be happening. It just seems to be happening all stream, basically.
I know. I keep forgetting where
Okay.
we are and what we're saying and what we're doing.
Nah, that's fine. I'm like that as well. But yeah, I run a YouTube channel. I am Mark 3. There's no space, so it's just like ARYONMK3. As Dama mentioned, I do some streams with him. Like we try to do 7 days style every Friday. I sometimes stream from the depths, and I do just general video content, doing let's plays on games. So that's kind of what I do, and that's where you find me if anyone's actually interested. And there we
Awesome.
go. I try
Again,
to keep it
sorry
short.
for cutting you off there. All right. Well,
No, I interrupted, so it's fine.
This has been tons of fun, guys. I hope this is something we can do again in the near future. This has been Dama.82 with the Heistmeister. I'm Mark 3, Spud Cubs, and Brick, and we still got a whole bunch of other people who have been chiming in through the FTD Discord. I want to thank you guys for coming in and sharing your input with us. It's been great having y'all.
Thank you all very much.
Yeah, and I'd also like to thank Nick and the development team for letting us do this here, and I'd like to thank Lord Mutt for passing the word along and helping us get this set up. This has actually gone a whole lot better than I could have ever imagined, and I'm glad to see that we have so much community support behind it. So, once again, thank you all, and thank you for visiting the stream. Y'all have one heck of a day, and y'all take care.
Yeah, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And we end with the squeaky chair, of course.
I told you, that's why I muted him. And he's like flipping out in chat going like, squeaky chair gives me away every time. Rah!
Benzo, I'm going to